This meeting is being recorded.
Oh, snap.
Oh, yeah.
3. All right. So we begin the session 92.
Wow.
On 2202222.
I have no idea how many file names that fucked me over with today.
That's fun. As we rejoin the Roses, picking up where we left off, they had just concluded their business with Armin the headmaster and Kyla.
Mm-hmm.
Fort did not convince the slave merchant mogul to quit his business and help him move some weed across.
Or not just weed, just anything, just illicit goods. I'm
DHL
a dynamic black market merchant here, diversified.
He did tell you to get back to him when you had something very, clear, solid, and specific in mind.
Got time for it.
But other than that, you had an eventful. Pretty much that was one day. No, 2. You spent the night at Castle Antilles after some barbarian politics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
But now I believe there are other objectives on the horizon.
Let's go to Cass and kick some ass. Kick some ass and Cass.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the move. We're on the way.
Yes.
You gotta reclaim your honor, dude.
It's not my honor, it's my dad's honor.
You're a dwarf.
It's not my honor, it's my dad's armor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same diff. Same dwarf, dude.
Oh, yeah. Okay. After going to Armin's, I would go back to my folks' place and explain to them what I'm going to do. Head and cast, clear the family name, and Veers or any of them have any advice.
Well, there's a sort of what you have.
Oh, yeah. And I would do that course there. I'd be like, hey, I've been gone for a while. This is what I did. And I would open up the wall or the portable hole and bring them in and show them the bodies.
I mean, it's just, there's an amount of, it's an incredible act that you undertook. So they are incredulous to an extent. You prove it to them, and there's some discussion. Of course, Veers was living here before that whole thing.
Okay.
He's rather old at this point. He's not really. He's pretty happy and set in his place. Your mother is. She's not dying to get back to Cass. She's also been spending the last 50 years here in Kyla and is running her moderately successful boarding business.
Mm-hmm.
Your father is the most interested in at least clearing the slate belt name.
Sure.
But he's also not like necessarily doesn't want to go back. But he does want to put this to rest and reclaim the lost honor that the family has.
It's Mirak's crusade.
Yeah.
You're reclaiming.
Coaster, please.
Sure.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'm not asking them to come with me. I'm just kind of like, I'm going. I've never been there, so kind of let him know I'm gonna go in and try to clear things up. Should I know anything? I don't want to step on any customs.
Well, your father is interested in accompanying you.
Okay.
Cool. He gets to fucking come into the mansion.
See what I've been up to.
He gets to fucking hang out with your dad.
That's his name also.
His name is Petrus.
Okay.
My mom's name's Mira. And my great uncle is Veers.
Like, Bort would just be like, your dad? Mira?
Copy and paste. Okay. Dad wants to come.
And his dad looks a little bit more like maybe he should be related to Uhtred than to Mira.
Fucking yoke.
Oh, a stone ball.
My dad's so strong, you guys. My dad could totally beat up your dad. He beat the shit out of your dad.
Or like, I beat up my dad.
No,
You can't be my dad. I beat him all the way up.
Alright, it's some advanced psycho pump that could pummel your father into the dust. Largo doesn't say that. He just, he doesn't think it either. It's just, as a player, I'm letting your character know.
As a player, I'm saying, is that your dad?
My dad is an advanced psychopath.
So, celebratory game of Stoneball? Is that what's happening?
Oh, we're gonna lose some stoneball on the way for sure.
I can Stoneball.
Largo does. He says he would like to learn the rules of Stoneball so he can referee.
Yeah.
The rules of Stoneball are in one of the text chats that I
Yeah.
sent out.
Yeah.
Like a whole thing.
Yep.
You have that saved. You showed that to me.
Yeah.
I would like
It's in
to
the group
review it.
Yeah.
Largo will review it.
I think honestly the only people in the group who could play Stoneball would be Yanni and Uhtred.
I can play it now. I get big.
Oh yeah,
You're
you can,
strong.
yeah. For like a couple of rounds, right?
Yeah, I can play. I can play for like a minute.
He's the ringer.
Yeah, I'm a big sub when I come on.
My father's so proud.
Pull the bullet.
We want to board now. Get back to the bench. Back to the bench.
Yeah.
Before your
I
muscles
don't think Bort can lift the ball, and I don't think that Largo could even move the ball.
No. And he wouldn't try to. He's just gonna flit around and be like, "Oh no, that's a 1 for this side, and 2 for that."
All right. So, how do you plan on getting to Cass?
You've never been there before, and it's underground.
So I ain't gonna teleport us.
Yeah.
2 of the people in the party have been to Cass. Your father
Yeah.
and Uhtred.
You been in Cass?
He grew up outside Cass.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Well, yeah, I defer to them. The best way to get in.
I might not be the best way to get in, but
That's the rules.
I've been there.
Okay.
Nice, Glenn. I was looking for this.
Shy buddy.
Search for it. It's not working out.
Which actually directly translates to paintball.
Yeah. Okay. It'll take you an hour to read it on that watch.
I'm already halfway through.
It's like Dune when they're reading like the ribbons.
Port's not playing. So Uhtred's been to Cass.
Yeah.
It's underground. It's entirely underground.
Mhm.
Not partially underground.
No problem. An entrance. You said there's like some like kind of watchtowers or something. There's like some small parts of it.
So the entrance is halfway up the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And then beneath the entrance is the Iron Flow, which is a river that comes out of the mountain. It goes down the mountain, down a channel, Next to it, there are a series of what are those water elevator things for ships?
Dams
Locks.
and locks.
Locks. Yeah, there's a series of locks so that things can be transported down. But the actual iron flow itself is extremely rapid. It's basically a chute.
Yeah.
It's been carved out of the mountain. And the iron flow is fed through the city. There are hydrokinetic engine works in the city that are powered by the flow of the water. And it comes from a hole that was drilled beneath glacial melt on the other side of the mountain.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the Dwarven City of Cass is a mechanical marvel. It's not like Lutsteverath, which is all like clockwork, random everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's more massive, engineered hydrokinetic systems that are for transportation and powering the forge bellows and that kind of thing. Not for
Is that notice? It's industrial.
yeah,
Heavy industry.
Yeah, in the gnome cities, there's like mechanical toothbrushes and random bullshit, clockwork wind up things. This is more like giant water wheels and massive cogs that are 70 feet across, slowly turning. And Uhtred has been to Cass. He hasn't been in Cass because he is a hill dwarf, and
Not exactly welcome.
he never really had the privilege to go in and didn't have any business. There was mostly just him going with his father to sell some hunting dogs or guard dogs or whatever that his family trained. So he kind of got into the exterior antechamber area of the city, but never got into the depths of it.
Okay. Well, I mean, like at a minimum, we got to cross air and water, right?
Sir.
Yeah, so the closest most of you have been is Lund.
Yeah.
Lund, I remember it well.
Yeah, we're going to London. See what up with London. And Dan, I have never in my life ever rolled a dwarf. There are hill dwarves, and what is the other subtype?
It's not a mechanical thing.
Okay.
It's a cast thing.
They're races and classes.
Okay.
Oh, extremely cast driven.
It would be rock dwarves?
It's just there's
Those within.
Like wood elves and high elves, or like wood dwarves.
for Uhtred's family was not of especially high station.
Yeah.
And they lived outside the mountain, on the hill, on the slope of the mountain. And you can kind of make up the concept of the caste based on their last name.
Mm-hmm.
Like Houndson has no sort of real dwarven. Yeah, just bend that crap out of the yardstick.
Oh. Cool.
Right there.
We're here, and we need to get here. And the closest we've ever been is right here.
So yeah, something like Houndson, where it doesn't necessarily strongly evoke a dwarven concept.
Yeah.
Would be considered a fairly low caste name.
Yeah.
Slate Belt is okay. That obviously sounds like a dwarven name, but it's also referring to like utility stuff.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't sound highly prestigious.
As far as cold axe.
Cold Axe is one of those more like, oh, well, that's a magical axe. That is an important name. And then, the king is his family name is Scale Reaver, which refers to the fact that they slay dragons.
Okay. Yeah.
That is a highly prestigious. That's a nobleman.
And when, just to clarify, when Mirok and Uhtred enter Cass, they will collectively be the most powerful dwarves
Yeah.
in the whole city.
Yeah. That we know of.
Yeah.
Unless the Dwarven King is also a level 20 lich.
It's probably, it's a significant possibility.
Yeah.
An iron dragon. That's right here.
Largo just kind of loves knowing, because I assume like as we're kind of traveling or talking about things, Largo's kind of getting some things, and he's like, "My friends, neither of them are particularly welcome in this city. However, they are more powerful than most of the people in this city, and I just consider that to be nice because they are my friends."
That's why Uhtred's so proud of his name. He always lets people know he's Uhtred Houndstone.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, you're opening up like all these fucking bars with your name on it. It's like kind of a fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, dwarf. But
Okay.
not really.
So now, when you went to Entelbin, you used telepathy to connect with Provost Jennifer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, she has teleported numerous times, and she is very well versed in the concept of magic.
We're going to one.
Yeah, your dad and Uhtred would have no way of like passing the concept of where Cass is on a, on the ley line superhighway to Clark.
It's to the hills.
Yeah, I mean, I asked my dad how the dwarves get across the water to Cass usually. What's the
Well,
surest route?
usually they travel around, generally like pretty much almost through Dunmar to go to Peck and then cross via ferry.
So like they go this way, and then they cross like you said.
Well, they
Cross the pack. They cross the pack with
Here.
here. They cross there. Okay.
there's also, you could rent a boat to go straight to Ostel. But
And
a
London.
lot of times they'll just cross there at the mouth of the river. And
We can skip Dunbar by going just straight to London, right?
well, yeah, you can go to one, then you have to figure out where you're going from one.
I mean, Mark has made a boat before.
Out of stone.
Out of stone, I can do a stone boat.
And these are mountains?
Yeah.
We could travel up the Aaron font to Cass from Lun. No, never mind. It feeds into the lake, I'd assume.
No, these both go down and out.
Yeah. How do rivers work?
Down and out.
Yeah, there's mountains there. I wasn't thinking, but now
When we were when I was starting the last LARP that I played in, one of the players offered to make a map of the world for the game, and so he got he downloaded some software, let him, and the river system that he made across the continent, like interconnected in all these different places, it made no sense
Yeah, it'd be
as
like
far
this,
as like.
so he made like a delta in the middle of the continent.
The river went straight across the continent to the other side. That's not the way this works.
Some
Like
of those-
through the mountains and come out the other side.
Yeah, that's not a river anymore.
I don't know what that is.
it's a magical,
It's a channel.
The water that flows uphill.
a magical.
Think of like Scotland. I think it's
Have you ever been to Wisconsin Dells?
No.
You ever been to a kitchen?
Yeah. So yeah, the closest the closest, and it's all dependent on Largo here. He's the one who's teleporting. The closest you've been is one.
We can sail upriver. I mean, that's a thing.
I mean, Lund is basically at the mouth of this lake, so like it's not it wouldn't we could overland and then go.
You're
across.
also Largo know that if you can see it, you can teleport there.
So like from the top of a mountain.
So we just like, we crossed the pass.
The karate cross.
Largo leading the way with his lit staff. Saruman hurling.
He's trying to bring down the mountain.
It's Fui.
Oh God.
I think
Yeah,
is
it
Fui
was
dead?
snowballs.
No, Fui made it.
Broke down.
Squeeze out there.
Well, I think I should get us to Lund.
I'm cool with that. Yeah. You could teleport
Get our
there.
bearings.
Are you going straight from Kyla to Lund, or are you going to stop
Hey,
in
do we have
Tarnal?
any idea if Lun has been reoccupied or what has happened since some of our
No.
party decided to massacre everyone there?
No.
There's enough blame to go around.
I don't. It's
Okay,
not
we're
a
gonna
massacre if they also chose to be a part of it. It's
Like-
two sides.
Yeah, it says the massacrers and the massacrees.
They chose the massacre. I mean, I can't think of any reason why we need to go to Penrose or Tarnum unless we feel like we're missing
Yeah,
anything.
no, I think we're good. I think we roll.
You want to teleport to the Kudu Dome and go from there, or do you want to like teleport right into like the ruins of the Lund camp?
I think we teleport right into the ruins of the Lund camp, and we just preface real hard with your father
Well, what?
about what teleport is like.
I was like, that'd be
We're like,
stoked.
Largo wants like 15 minutes with Petri and Mirak there to like not necessarily translate, but like just reaffirm, talking to Petri about what teleport's like and just telling him like, this is going to be kind of intense, and I know you're an intense guy, and I know you're not scared of intense stuff, but this is a little bit different. Just be cool.
He's gonna toss his oatmeal.
He might toss his oatmeal. Largo's concerned. It's your father. It's like a big
Yeah,
deal.
no, I'm not gonna stop you.
I'd like
If there's
both of you to
Petri's-
make sense motive checks. Largo and Mira.
Well, that's not going to work.
Sense motive?
4.
Okay.
Yeah.
14.
Okay. So Largo, you're trying to explain this to Petri, and Petri, for your part, seems to be, having some trouble really understanding the scope of what is going to happen.
It's a big deal.
And he keeps on looking to Mirak for reassurance. Mirak, especially, knowing your father, you got a massive bonus on this sense motive check.
Okay.
He's giving you this nonverbal. Is your friend okay? Does he need to?
There.
Yeah.
I'm doing like exactly what I'm like gonna scratch it and just and like Largo's here.
Yeah.
I'm scratching my head going. Just be attentive.
So he patiently listens to Largo's full diatribe.
So he's maybe experienced teleportation before?
No, he just kind of feels like this is going to be kind of intense. You might feel nauseous.
Yeah.
And you took 15 minutes to explain that in
totally.
Exceptional detail.
I told him about myself.
It's like when you go to like one of those ropes courses and you're already harnessed up and ready to go.
All right, so that's also like
Clapping. Lots of clapping.
he's at best like a level 4 expert.
Yeah.
And this incredibly powerful sorcerer
Thank you for saying
is
that.
explaining this to him, and he's looking to his son, who he knows, or at least is beginning to understand, as an incredibly powerful healer in his own right. Like, sort of just like trying to be respectful to someone who he knows is.
That he rented a room to like 1.5 years ago.
I'm starting to tear up. Maybe Mirak would like to step in and be like, hey.
Well, no, like you're not catching any of this shit. You're
No, I like in my explanation because
You're talking
how
about
you're explaining like,
yourself.
yeah, and then like how you are Mirak's father, and Mirak means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure everything's okay.
I pat you on the back, just take a breath. I think I'll finish it up here. I think you get the high points.
Okay. I go in for a high five.
To me or my dad?
Your father.
Okay.
It hurts.
Yep. Totally.
It's like high-fiving an animal.
And I say, I'm not even going to pretend that didn't hurt. And then I said, welcome to the party. And then walk away.
It'll be one goal.
Hey, Largo, should you also warn him that we are teleporting into a war crime zone, or are you just gonna let him figure that one out when we get there?
He's gonna do. If you thought Murak was racist, where do you think he learned it from?
Classes.
And don't forget, I rented from Petrie's and Mira for like a couple months.
Yeah.
And what is a war crime? I mean,
Yeah.
you were under just sanctioned agents of the king.
And we fought them on their terms.
You do make a good point, Board. I am throwing that word around a lot. Maybe I should.
I'll put up a stone monument when we get there. Just make it clear.
Largo, please give me a percentile.
$23.
All right. There you go.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say I've very much been there before. It's like a 15-year level.
Yeah, if you've been there once, it's 15. I guess I do. Otis is staying in Tarnholm to watch over the ladies because with Murak's father, Largo can teleport himself and 5 others. So like Otis wouldn't even fit in the.
Yeah, I was assuming
Transportation.
I was just thinking about Otis because Otis hasn't been a factor for a while.
Can I put Otis in my pocket? No.
Mm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hold your breath, but go in the hole.
You want Otis to watch your kid, don't you? Come on.
Give me a little guard dog for now.
Oh, there it is.
So you all arrive in one, and it appears deserted, burnt out, and
It's good charcoal base for the forest.
Nature's healing.
My thoughts exactly.
Fern gully.
It was like very muddy and sludgy. There wasn't a lot of vegetation, but now there is like grass and sprouts and stuff coming up. Some like creeping vines covering some of the burnt out huts and yurts and whatnot.
Largo caresses the grass, kneels down, holds a sprout up, directs it towards the sun.
Yeah.
The heart. Yeah, heart with
The
a heart.
heart.
Yeah.
This would be the heart.
That's what I'm
This would
saying.
be a great
Heart.
heart. We have our moon trees growing in the dome.
This is home.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good name for a band,
Home tree?
like a post-emo band.
I bet there is one. It'd be huge.
Yeah, it's like the thing in Tag, a home tree.
Yeah.
This is base.
Unfortunately, as you arrive, there is also a heavy rain falling.
The worst video game.
And what time of day is it?
I don't know. You tell me what time did you decide to take off on this journey?
I think lunch. We would have had breakfast and left slightly before lunch.
Well, yeah, you met with Armin at like 9:30 in the morning.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you went from that to your parents' house, talked to them,
They
you
get
probably
back
could have left around lunch.
Yeah.
And we're in the same time zone.
We have lunch before lunch.
There might have been an amount of like explaining to your dad that no, we're kind of on human time right now because he's like, oh, so when do you want to do this next week?
Yeah, sure. No, they just shoot from the hip.
Yeah, it's more of like go pack a bag.
Now.
Okay. Do we want to have shelter, or do we want to just like trudge through the rain on
Let's
to
try.
the lake?
Yeah, I think we trudge through the rain as we walk.
Do you want to sense if there's anything we see in the wreckage of one?
Yeah, I am going to cast Arcane Sight, which I think is minutes per level.
Okay.
Or should I just detect magic? I think this is the one I want. 1 minute per level.
Okay.
So I guess 15 minutes, yeah. And then detect magic is concentration.
Right.
Up to 1 minute per level. So yeah, I'll do Arcane Sight. I cast that as we're rolling along. I'll probably use like a couple castings of it, maybe keep it up for about 30 minutes.
One is massive and there's no crowd, so it's probably only going to take you about a half an hour to get to the edge of of what was left of the town.
I'm looking for scraps.
Give me a perception check.
18.
18.
Do we have tiers to line up? And it's plus 10?
Yep.
28.
Wow. Okay. So,
Because it was up in the room.
with that, you do notice a couple of very faint magical auras coming from the rubble of, hard to tell what it used to be.
Yeah.
There's some wood, there's some animal skins, tent, some sort of, who knows.
Let us go. And I point to the rubble
Mhm.
and I motion for some of the marshals to follow.
Okay.
Ahead of me as I amble over.
I got you, Largo. I'm right behind you.
What is it, boy? You saw something? Treasure.
Okay, so you get over there
I
and
tell them to dig, like right there I see some magical ones.
it's not a big thing. You get over there, you can see that there looks to be
He tells
something.
us to dig.
I mean, I asked you, yeah.
I mean, it's you have to move some debris out of the way, but then Largo, you can see that the aura is coming through the cloth of a small belt pouch or something.
Okay. I look forward and I open the belt pouch and kind of lift it up and peer inside.
Inside, you see 3 tiny little, from your perspective, glowing rocks.
Glowing rocks. Spellcraft for auras. Aha!
Wow.
Listen to this guy.
And it is modified by intelligence, so that will be a 63.
Tower.
Okay.
That'll do, pig.
All right. So, looking at this, you're rather excited. You open the bag, you take a look, you see these 3 little rocks in there, and they're glowing, and you're like, and they are burnt out iron stones.
Okay. What is that?
They are little rocks.
Meeting
Placed.
is being recorded.
Oh.
Like anywhere from say 3 inches to about a foot away from your head.
Yeah.
And if you release, they'll start rotating around your
I've
head.
seen these before.
Yeah, we have seen these.
Board has 2 of them.
And they're burnt out.
They're burnt out.
Wow.
So
there's
they
like-
used to be something, but now they'll rotate, but they don't do anything.
I kind of sigh as I take one. And it's rotating around my head. And then I kind of sulk off to the rest of the party.
What else do you see?
Yeah, Petri says, "Oh, I've seen those before.
Mhm.
Some of the miners will cast continual flame on them, so they can use them as headlamps."
Oh, that makes sense.
Well, the miners won't cast. They'll have
Yeah.
someone else.
Well, I got one. I grab it, throw it in my pocket. I'm like, if anyone else wants to, I'll just hold on to this one.
I think, does my dad grab them? Like, do they have any value or anything?
Yeah, they sell for about 25 gold pieces each. They are like little magical items, and
I mean, whatever. I screwed them up.
2 of them.
Yeah. Last game, please.
Yes.
Thanks.
there are some things that can be done with them. You can get creative.
So I've got one. I put it in my belt pouch.
What are they called? Two?
Ayun.
I think if you look it up, it's a dusty gray. IOUN.
Wow, I spelled it right. I thought you were gonna say AY. Dang.
Someone's been playing wherever.
I've heard that name so many times, I don't know what it is.
I don't play it.
There's like 20 different kinds of iron stones that do all kinds of shit.
Oh, okay.
Mine are firefly stones. They're not that.
Which, I mean, they're basically what Petri just described.
Yeah. Just floating ones.
I take mine and I cast Make Whole on them. That should work.
Okay.
Make Whole can fix destroyed magic items and restores the magic property of the item with the cast level is at least twice that of the item. I'm assuming I'm more than twice as low.
Well, let's see.
Explode in your face.
Yeah.
Ayun Doom.
Yeah, I'm reading it. I think I can't see the reason why I wouldn't.
Okay.
Let's just say I got so many spells for fixing shit.
Mm-hmm.
You're the fixer. People, objects, nations.
Ayun stones.
I'm gonna call them glow globes.
Tree stars.
Scarab nerves.
Sniff, sniff. I'm looking at the thing right now. Okay, well, you're not level 24, so that one doesn't get fixed.
They do other things.
What? Radiant stones have AC 24, 10 hit points of hardness, and hardness at 5. The powers of each stone vary depending on its color and shape. Here's a whole table of various stones.
Yeah, I think basically they're all cast at level 12 to make
All the spells that are attached to them?
all of the stones as they are magic items.
Yeah, each individual one is a level 12.
Yeah.
So there's no way I can fix it.
No.
Ah, bummer. I was assuming just since it was a little 25 gold piece thing, it wouldn't be that high level spell.
Right. Well, that's what it's worth now. That it's basically broken.
So yeah, these are unfixable.
Can we have beer?
Beer me as well.
Beer, everyone.
Just
We're gonna throw a beer at this cat.
Just one
We're
more.
gonna this cat.
No, not the bag.
The cat wants to be beer.
No.
The cat wants to be beer.
Water guy.
You're a good Wawa
I'm
world.
gonna be a water guy.
You're a waterman.
Well, this one I got a drive truck.
A waterman.
I enjoy drinking the subsy with my friends.
I mean, I think between the three of us.
That's
three.
yeah, that's only 3. The other one's wank.
Oh, we're still drinking.
So I do take the wheel.
Anyway, I'll let you make a cast roll check. See if you can
Okay.
repair them.
These things are
Caster Levial.
Labial.
Ooh.
Not bad. Rolled 18 on the die.
Wow.
And then I'm modifying it with my charisma.
You add your cast level.
I don't know why I always forget this damn.
Charisma.
So that is 33.
All right. So the first one, you see this tiny little gray lump begin to stretch and adjust into a very fine ellipsoid that seems to be brownish yellow, and it has like sort of bands, and you probably recognize this type of stone as an agate. So this is an agate ellipsoid. It grants you a single use of the augury spell with 100% success rate.
Ooh. Oh.
Stone has to be orbiting your head for at least 24 hours before it can be activated in such a way, which you can do with a thought as a free action.
Boy, that's fucking huge.
Market price 1,000 gold pieces.
The stone instantly returns an answer wheel woe, wheel end woe, or nothing. And after being used in this manner, it's going to return to a dull gray item stone.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a one-off.
Yeah.
That's huge, especially because you're so pious.
It's basically you ask a question and you get a, good, bad, or good and bad, or neither.
Yeah, that might be.
You're a good boy.
It's the right reason too, though.
Largo has things that he can do. He can ask his sleeping friend.
You can ask my ancestors.
Mort should really just ask fucking his new greed god a couple questions.
Greed Dad's gonna tell me what I want to hear.
Greed dad.
My greed daddy in the sky.
Cash
Greed
daddy.
daddy in the sky. Daddy Warbucks.
Francesca's like watching a coworker's puppy while he like makes clay. She's like in the retail space, like watching the puppy for him. And the puppy's name is Cash Money.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Wheezy
great
F
name.
baby.
Yeah.
The Birdman.
So yeah, that was the one that you cast the make hole on.
Okay.
You're an augur.
You're a good augur.
Can I do it again?
Only
Can
in
you cast make hole again?
I fixed an auger today.
I will, for the sake of moving the game on, I'll hold off on doing that.
Same augur, Steve.
Well, the thing is, if you don't do it now, you'll probably forget about it and it'll never happen. And if you don't do it now, it will hold up the game at a later time.
That's fair.
Yeah, dude, this is like Mirok's.
Oh, yeah, it's a second level spell. I can totally cast it again.
It is your time.
Kind of like, oh no, I'll figure out what's in the scabbard later. Not important.
Oh,
Don't identify any of the magic items in it. It doesn't matter.
Oh, in the golf bag?
Yeah.
What happened? We haven't identified any of the magic items in the golf bag. It's just a golf bag full of magic swords. Like, that.
We'll take a look at it. We're in the standing rain, ankle deep in mud.
No time like the present. Mirok's dicking around. I pull out my 2 firefly stones and let them go, and I like kind of elbow Mirok's dad. I'm like, yeah, pretty cool, huh? You like these guys, like damn the mines.
I will
Little
take
bang.
the second one and I cast make whole.
Daddy.
There it is.
I can't get behind that band in any way, shape, or form.
Allison Chance.
Yeah, even like they're like unplugged, which is supposed to be amazing. It's just fucking terrible.
An action die in this situation
I never
would
like
be
that.
a +3.
Now it's +4.
+4.
We went up to D10s, right?
Delane Stanley's crooning tones.
So then
dulcet
I will use an
tones.
action die in 22.
22. Not gonna do it.
Daily
You
on
rolled like,
record.
what did you
Like
roll?
3.
6.
Yeah.
I've heard them
Yeah.
in like
Okay.
So yeah, it kind of
No.
rolls around in your hand a little bit, but the magic doesn't take hold.
I get it.
I cast it again. I don't know why I used an action die.
You gotta re-listen, but
On the same one, or
Yeah. I rolled a 19 this time, so it's gonna be a 34.
okay.
Lord mercy.
So I was going to apply like a negative every time.
Oh,
I mean, but the thing is, like, that's still succeeds.
Oh, okay. I got you.
You said it was a 34. So
Yes.
this one, where was it?
Unplug shit. They all enter at different times. And it just pisses me off.
This one turns into a pink semi-translucent triangular prism.
Okay.
Which is a dusty rose prism. And that one, actually, you should have had to identify it after.
Sure. Yeah.
So like the first one, I just told you what it did, but you fixed it. That doesn't mean you know what it does.
I can identify.
Anyone else?
Dead.
It's a spellcraft, yeah.
Yeah, get on in there. It's like a little bad.
I get a 30.
Dusty Rose Prism is a +1 insight bonus to AC.
Insight to AC, cool. So it's just like
It's going to stagger there. None of you guys have an insight bonus to your
Yeah,
AC, so that's going to
huge.
stagger there. Anything.
Okay, cool.
Can you look at this one? Like,
Yeah, at that
it's
point,
like
I'm like
doughy
now
eyes.
holding a dusty rose
Dope.
prism and an agate ellipse, so you're like, meh, and just left in the pile.
And I got this.
And I cast hole.
Oh.
Roll a natural 1.
Okay.
Down in a hole.
What does that do?
Down in a
Roll again. To confirm the
Down in ordinary.
fumble.
It's a
And
20.
it's a 20.
A natural 20?
Yeah. If that helps you
Okay.
out.
Nothing is helpful at this point. The night is over.
You cast it and it begins to spin rapidly in your hand and it starts to glow and then it just stops and drops back to the palm of your hand.
That one's a dead.
You're like, oh shit! You get the impression like that almost exploded.
Okay. I cast me cool.
Oh.
Wow, it's not meant to be.
It's a 2. So what's the penalty that if I did this again?
Being recorded.
Well, it's gonna keep on getting harder.
Yeah. So that's what I'm like. Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you what you're gonna hit.
I'm going to roll again.
We're up to rock
A
hard right
solid. So a 25. Still doesn't work.
I pat you on the shoulder and I'd be like, it's okay. And then I ask for
I
it.
do it again.
now. Wow. All right.
That's another 1.
It's a
It's
natural
not-
1
not-
again.
Not meant to be.
He's
on
a
one
dwarf.
here.
Rolling
And your
again.
dad
Very
is watching.
stubborn man.
Your dad is watching, dude.
It's a 17. Pretty
See
solid.
your dad.
It does that same thing where it starts spinning and it seems to get like incandescent with heat and then just cracks in half and the pieces drop into the palm of your hand.
You blew
You're,
it.
Well, I'm
you're
gonna
pretty
take
sure
that out
it's
of my inventory.
done.
It's done forever?
Yeah.
I look at
No longer
Largo and I
have
say,
one.
we'll revisit this later. And I pocket the 2 pieces.
Broke his little rock.
So would Mayhole not fix that as well? Because it also fixes like damage to that. Or is it just like a flavor thing?
Yeah, it's more like you change what it was to garbage.
The gods have told you that this is no longer an item.
Okay. Well, I will recommend.
Technically, none of them should have worked at all. So
I just go and return to my business. Sorry, not to bring back Fooey. I just thought that's what Largo would do because it's fucking hilarious. You were like, oh, it's almost exploding and it's not. Let me try again. And it's almost exploding and then it's not. And then it just cracks in half. It's just like that was worth it.
I'll hold on to this agate ellipsoid right now, but the +1 insight to AC, someone else should take.
Yeah.
I
think for now we give it to your father. Just in case shit gets real.
It's not gonna matter. If shit gets real, it's not gonna matter.
But would
right now, his
Mirak
dad's
say
got like an AC of 12.
Yeah.
right, but like I think Mirak would want to protect his father.
I am my father's protection. This isn't a fucking rock.
Well then, fucking Largo holds out his hand.
Whip it at you. with that little shark.
Catch it. You're so surprised. +1 insights.
Well, my firefly stones are also going around my head. They don't add anything to anything. They're just cool.
I'll hold on to my agonal.
Your dad is impressed because you remember something from the mind. It's too bad you ruined your rock. Uh-huh.
It's kind of like the worst thing a dwarf can do.
Yeah.
I hold on to it.
And that item is called again.
You
You got a Dusty Rose Prism.
Thank you.
Dusty
It's pouring rain. We're soaked. We're dinking around with little pebbles in the pouring rain of a war crime camp. And
Mirok's dad is just kind of like,
all because you
Yep.
drank wine for breakfast and got a +10 on your thing and noticed it.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Classic.
It really is. Yeah, if that's all. I guess we
guess-
keep on.
I mean, I assume that took us about 30 minutes, so I can no longer see
well,
that.
so I'm assuming then that means that you did the Tears to Wine for lunch. Because
So-
this would be well after your
If-
breakfast.
If we met him around 9:30,
Mhm.
and I did Blessing of Fervor and Tears to Wine, that's 3 hours. So 12:30 should be when it ends. So I assume we got here at noon. We're just starting to walk. So it's ending now.
Well, I'm assuming you went and talked to your parents, and before you decided to traipse through the wilderness, you ate lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Your dad had a lunch wine.
But it also would make sense that Mirok, before he decided to traipse through the wilderness, would want Tears to Wine out. And it's a low-level spell, so
FaceTime Aaron's dad.
You want to talk to Dave Mackey?
Let's get Dave in here.
You don't want Dave here.
Have him.
I'm just figuring you probably threw a second casting of it.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm just gonna mark it down now. So I think it's still close.
What's Mirok's dad's name? Patches?
Petrus.
Jesus Christ.
You should call it.
My dad is a lost wet puppet.
Patches?
Yeah, he used to be part of the Jim Henson collection, but then he got thrown out.
When Rolf came in.
But he became sentient in the dumpster.
Patches is a fucking epic ass song. Patches.
Patches.
You ever heard that?
Who's it?
Like R&B soul song.
Oh, sort of.
Probably.
Blessing of Fervor.
Jake and Glenn are riveted over there.
Oh yeah. With the dwarven.
Yanni's just thinking to himself,
You're-
I wonder if I could steal those rocks and sell them for drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send it.
You're still on the drug kicks, huh?
Well,
But is this-
someone hasn't fixed me, so yeah, I'll do the drugs.
I can't fix you. We already figured that out.
It's too wet to spark a J, dude. It's pouring rain.
Have
gonna
some
have to
ale.
I got to move on to the harder stuff then.
Mm-hmm.
Get drunk with Uhtred.
Yeah, dude, shoot junk with Uhtred.
That doesn't seem like a good idea.
Uhtred, is it snowing in Iowa right now?
It is indeed.
I got a Minneapolis has declared a snow emergency text message about 2 hours ago.
Well, Minneapolis is definitely.
Well, they're
Pretty close.
they're right. The same
I'm
weather.
over.
in the-
I'm on the border of Minnesota. I'm like 3 hours from Minneapolis.
Yeah. Okay. It's pretty close.
It's the tundra, dude. That shit blows across there.
All right, cool. We start heading west out of Lund's camp.
Okay.
To the lake.
Right, so yeah, Largo, you don't notice any other magical auras on the way, but you guys do make it to the edge of the lake. Water is choppy. There's a strong wind blowing in from the south, and it is still raining very hard.
What's the okay? So we're at the air and water. We're on the other side of the air and water. We need to get across.
Are we trying to go here? Like, do we know to go here? Or do we think You said this is like a torrent of water.
Well, yeah, coming out of Cass, it's a chute.
Yeah.
The water's probably like
Okay.
moving like 50, 60 miles an hour.
So we're going across the lake to, what is this town?
Hostel.
Hostel.
I ask Petrus as we reach the mouth of the Aaron water. I say, Petrus, in your experience with your dwarven farsight, would you think that if it weren't raining, if it were a clear day, that we could see Ostel?
Oh no.
Okay. So I'm just wondering if I can camp and then I teleport there, but never mind.
Yeah.
No,
That's a good thought.
I mean, it's a significant river. It's like not quite the Mississippi. Maybe like the Mississippi and
Minnesota.
Louisville. Some of them.
So you can see across it, but it's big.
Yeah, it's big. This isn't the French Broad. And Aaron Water Lake is probably about the size of Rhode Island.
So large.
Yeah, you couldn't see across it.
How many delegates do they get?
Maybe if you were at the top, maybe if you were at the top of the mountain,
Yeah.
you might be able to vaguely see the shoreline from the other side, but not from the shoreline.
I'm trying to think. I mean, we can't just like.
You know you want a stone boat.
Well, we don't necessarily have to stone boat just as long as I can fucking fool
What do you
everybody.
want a stone boat?
What?
Fucking getting in the boat that I make out of nothing. Dude, it's fucking, I make shit that is pretty much fucking real, dude. It could get us there.
That is an intriguing proposition.
I have a -1 intelligence.
Well,
Fourth
phrase
rated
it,
climb.
yeah.
Oh, damn it. Well, okay, sorry.
So your idea is
You've got a better solution to this problem.
Me or us?
You.
can you mount?
Very close.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. Greater conjuration. Yeah. Give me a second. Don't tell me the name of the spell. I haven't fully reviewed this.
Disadvantages.
I
Right,
am. While Largo is thinking, I am just going to start making a stone boat.
Start.
This is
Mirac's like looking up and down, like
this is his weird.
finds a boulder.
Yeah, I started finding some rock and I cast from that rock wall of stone, right, like that, and then I just start stone shaping it like a potter. I'm just moving around the side, stone shaping, kind of making a bow, tying off the end. Then I climb up inside and I start like smoothing out the interior. Do you think I could do that with wall stone and stone shape?
I would say, I mean, you could with wall of stone, you can create, a sort of V-shaped thing.
Yeah.
With stone shape, you're gonna have to make some knowledge engineering to get the angles, and you're trying to make this something that isn't gonna fall apart.
I yell over the rain. I go, Yanni, help me out here.
We'll work for drugs.
I gave you booze today.
Close enough. All right.
Let me know when you're like halfway done with like.
What are we doing?
Yeah. Okay. After.
No, Largo's like, huh.
Okay, I rolled a natural 1 on my knowledge engineering, so this is all you, Yanni.
All right, here we go. Boat time. I also rolled a natural 1.
Wow. Slapping that stone.
So you guys are like, putting this together, and
It's not gonna happen.
Mirok feels pretty good about it, and he asks Uhtred. Uhtred gives it a good shove and pushes it out into the river. Just goes right under.
I look at Yanni and I say, you know what it is? We were high the last time we did this.
And Largo goes, excuse me.
Huh?
Gather around. And I say, before I have this magical energy, kind of, it's like a silly putty of magical energy. And I kind of look up and I go, the important part is that you believe in yourself. And I go, and all of a sudden there are enough like weird purple glowing horses for all of us to ride.
Okay. What are these purple horses?
Phantasmal steed, communal, and they can cast water walk at will because I am over level 10.
They can also fly.
Well, we're just gonna do the
Water thing, man.
No, because I love the idea of like Largo at the front. And that's just like with like epic fucking Lord of the Rings music going, and we're just walking across the lake.
See, in my mind, I'm just saying like the placid, like water level music from all the sides from like video games.
Yeah.
I like
The water temple from Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, or
Prelude,
like just
you know.
fucking echo the
Nocturne of
dolphin.
Water, yeah.
Sega.
Yeah.
Okay. Largo makes.
Walks on the surface of Jesus horses.
Jesus horse. And we're gonna listen to Home Tree.
By Home Tree.
This is the thing.
The theme song.
As we're phantom steeding across the
This is
lake.
very Steve Zissou.
So
Yeah. We are.
they'll last an hour per level. You need to make 6 of them.
Yes.
So that's 2 hours per level.
Yep.
Except for a couple that are gonna last 3.
Yep.
And they have a movement speed of 100 feet. And can
You're just fucking rolling, dude. I'll stop that because it's bad music.
I'm there, dude.
Yeah,
I'm really alert.
I'm having a moment with my dad.
Yeah. It's a montage. All right, so my
Striding
view
across the lake.
is that we're going to Austell. So it's kind of this way. So it takes us a good long while.
That's Rhode Island, bro.
so at
20
100
minutes.
feet movement speed, that's 200 feet per round.
Yeah.
Making double moves without like trying to like push them.
Yeah, like
far.
trot. We're
Uh,
day trotting.
so 200 feet per round is
Fast as fuck.
pretty fast.
Yeah, like we're over a canter. We're like a near gallop
I think
here.
it's 26 miles an hour.
That's
And,
1 horsepower.
Uh-huh.
and Rhode Island is
One
not
horse.
huge. You know, making it like just like cutting through Rhode Island, we could do that in like an hour and a half.
Have you ever took a ferry like across Lake Michigan or something?
No,
Like from Wisconsin to
never.
It takes
He's
like
from a
it takes like
mountain
6
place.
hours.
6 hours? Oh shit! Is it going 26 miles an hour?
There's nautical knots.
So yeah, you know,
Not but mud.
Not, but
you
it's
probably won't make it across. Like going to Oslo is probably going to be a 4 or 5 hour ride.
Okay. I'm just picturing this like starting to sink. Largo's like recasting, but we don't have to do that.
Where's
It's 55 miles diagonally across Rhode Island. Just throwing that out there.
Diagonally.
From like the farthest
And
you
we're not
could
even-
possibly
we're
go.
not diagonal.
Okay, okay.
I'm talking Ashbury to Attleboro. You guys know what I'm talking about?
All right, I overestimated.
So we
the
make-
size of,
It happens all the time.
okay.
They made the state look so big on that quarter.
I mean, the thing is, though, like, if you don't go to Oslo, but you go closer to Cass, that's a shorter distance.
Shorter distance, yeah.
So, and I would assume that somebody in your group would be smart enough to realize, let's not go out into the middle of the lake. Let's go around the coastline so that we can get on land in case.
Ford starts to head right out through the middle of the lake
on this phantom steed.
as that song is playing.
Yeah, Murak aggressively is like, "Look at that."
I turn and follow Mirak's advice. I'm just on a mission.
You guys are riding and, you know, It's choppy, and there's a few small waves lapping against the shore. But as you're going, you see like thunder, lightning bolts and stuff lighting up. You can see out on the lake like hills are coming in. That would have been something.
The perfect storm.
Yeah. It was it's pretty rough out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I check in with Patrice.
Like you bring your horse to the back. I'm on the phone with my dad.
I'm just checking. I'm like, how you guys doing? Are you okay?
New York would say like yell over all the noise and the dad would be like, we're fine. Like I'm just a massively metal dwarf, just yeah, like on a mechanical, like my helmet's probably like all around my head like a bobblehead.
How's the father?
Oh, he's probably fine, dude. He's dressed like a normal dude. He's jacked.
Yeah.
I've got all this weird ancillary weight on me.
Yeah. You'd think.
You'd
But then your father's never ridden a horse before. He's just kind of like,
It's true.
he's like got a bear hug around the horse's neck.
He's grappled it.
Calm emotions. As I say, the important thing is that you believe in yourself.
He's he looks less tense, but he's not letting go.
Yeah, totally.
He just feels like this is the safest thing for him to do.
Yep.
And calm emotions is not going to last the entire trip.
No, so it lasts long enough for Largo to get back to the front.
You're fine. Oh, I'm fine. I'm not fine. I'm not fine. So yeah, you get to you land over here, you cross the mouth of the Arenfont and get to the other side of the. So you're still a ways from Ostel, but.
And that took us 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I vote Largo maybe comes up to Mirok and Bort, gets everyone together, and it's like, I say we camp here.
The mouth of the Arenfell? Which side?
It's like 2:30 in the afternoon.
I mean, so we'd be right about there.
Like you're making a boat and he's trying to remember what he can do that would work in this situation. Let's put it closer to like 3:30.
Okay.
And Largo will just not stop thinking about your father. I think we should cook some food, do some things, do some like fun camping things, and then I mansion us to safety.
In the pouring rain. You want to do fun camping things in the pouring
Is
rain?
it pouring on this side of the lake?
Largo doesn't know what it's like to camp. He says, maybe we could just do the mansion then?
Like, yeah, it's still raining.
Yeah, I think we just do the mansion. I look around. Is there any kind of, because we normally kind of try to hide the mansion.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of space that Largo and I see together that might be useful for hiding the mansion?
Well, you're at the base of mountains here, and there's lots of rocky outcroppings, and it's a mostly conifer forest.
Okay.
Is there a waterfall?
Yeah, you can move through trees. I always forget that.
Yeah. I'm lucky you get to cast like 5 times by now. But you guys wouldn't be with me. So.
I wave Largo over. We walk over to a nearby rock face. I stone shape kind of, and then like we walk in together.
Yeah.
And
What kind of food does your dad like?
then you stayed at the end.
I rented
with
a room from him, and I've
several
been with him
times.
a bunch of times. But I'm gonna need some probably DM help here.
Give me an intelligence check.
Perfect fair.
That's all Nick says. I stayed at the end.
It's raining. I feel
Okay, not so bad. I'm 11.
He's absolutely a meat and potatoes kind of guy.
Yeah.
You. Yeah, he has a little bit of a focus on like making sure he gets some like lean meat.
Yeah.
Because he's very into his workout routine and getting an appropriate amount of protein, but he has a soft spot for different kinds of potatoes and bread. He does enjoy his carbs.
Okay, so I make the mansion. First course, flank steak, well seasoned, curried flank steak.
Mm-hmm.
Second course, latkes.
Oh, you got a good vodka.
Third course, poached potatoes with cheese and little chunks of ham in it.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Little green onion.
Yeah, little green onion in there, garnish.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth is just an entire fucking salmon.
Okay.
Right.
Fifth,
Raw. Still
no. It's like well seasoned, sliced equally, but like descaled, but like a lot of dill, sea salt, pepper, white pepper.
Okay.
Served with limes and passion fruit. Fifth course would be a pork chop. Just one single solitary, super juicy, awesome, medium rare pork chop. Course 6, flounder.
Okay.
With a side of leeks and stewed tomatoes. All right.
Okay.
Course 8.
Okay.
We're looking at course 8. We are looking at liver, raw liver.
Duck.
Straight up, duck for sure.
Uh-huh.
Raw liver with like blanched asparagus, and then finished with like a super hot sear. Right, so you cook on the inside, but like with a nice crispy crust. All right, and a couple scallions. Ninth course being the dessert that you need to float up there for. Chicken pot pie, baby. But like sweet chicken pot pie, stewed with a bunch of brown sugar and carrots.
Like a sweet cornbread crust?
Yeah.
Can I add one thing?
Sure.
Not like an entree, but just like a thing that's kind of on the table.
Yeah.
Always ill. Brazilian cheese bread.
Okay.
You ever had that?
I have not had Brazilian.
It's
Like the whole part.
Yeah, like you go to Brazilian restaurants that like it's like if you took bread and cheese and made them into one entity and then just the inside is like stringy and like it's not like it sounds like I'm trying to make a cheesesteak, but it's like if bread was as close as possible to being cheese, it was that.
Okay, well that's just available.
Like, it's a snacking food.
Yeah.
For your dad likes.
He's a snack.
And the entire time I'm just
He's been
watching Petrus.
Oh, Patches.
I'm just like watching him and like smiling and like giving him a thumbs up when he looks at me.
Okay.
You're really concerned. You're really going, yeah.
Dude, he's fucking like level 4 and he's like doing shit with us. I'm concerned for his safety. And I express that in just like over watchfulness.
Like we brought a toddler.
Yeah. A toddler who is very important to you.
Sure, yeah.
Because it was just any toddler. I mean, fuck it.
Yeah, American next to shit. All those hobbit toddlers that got in my works, fuck them. Not my problem.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we took care of the dorks.
Yeah.
We got them in the end.
The end is all that matters.
So you get this like he's just going with it. He's like, okay, he walks into your tower and looks at Mirok
Like,
like,
not me.
well, it's more looking at like, this is how you live, kind of a.
Pretty cool.
On the road.
And I lean in and I say, you're gonna have to explain to him how to float towards, and I point at the little hole, that.
Yes.
Yeah, he gets through like the first 3 courses, and then he like just really getting into it, enjoying it. And then around the 5th course, he's, there's more.
Yeah. I really know that. I'm like, it's really just need to take a bite of everything, and then you can fly a little bit, and you can float up there, and that's where bedrooms are. And then I show him. I take a bite of golden thing.
Fucking armor.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good to picture this.
Yeah, huh? Yeah.
Just weightless.
It's a weird time in the Slate Belt family.
I fucking bet it is.
Alright. So yeah, he takes a bite out of everything else, stops and like eats a good portion of the liver, but then does pretty much the same thing that you and Utra did the first time you tried to. It was just sort of
Yep.
ass over tea kettle, not really.
Yeah, Willy Wonka.
I mean, at this point, Mirok is old hat, and when he floats up, he's still.
Yeah, yeah, like a video game character flipping through a level. Yeah, I'm gone. I'm upstairs now.
And he does, apparently he has room for about half of the pot pie. But
I'm up there. Ask him if he wants to swing.
Oh, I told my dad not to, but if you ask him that, the answer is no.
Okay. All right. I float up to a
Swing
swing.
daddy-o.
Yeah, I tell him, all I said to him was like, he might ask you to swing after your meal. It doesn't mean what you think it means. Just go to bed. That's all I say to him.
Hey, Mirok, I would like to have a word privately.
Okay, so I've floated into the next level.
All
I
right.
think I might have been one of the first ones to do it, so that could be a good time.
So yeah, I'm like right behind you, and I'm just like kind of like grab you to the side, and I look around, and I'm just like, I think Largo is trying to fuck your dad. Just so you know.
It's I look at you and I say, I don't think he's strong enough.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. And then I give you a little punch on the shoulder with my 8 strength, and I say, for a minute there, last time someone snuck up on me, they killed me in this tower. So maybe don't do that. Because I imagine like, hey,
PTSD.
yeah.
Mirok doesn't have a good track record of being woken up in the middle of a.
No, I was thinking about that this week. Yeah, it's like every time I've been killed, it's
Neither does Largo.
from a sleep state.
Yep.
And Yanni's not 100% Yanni right now.
Stolen some chips from you.
There are chips.
Another thing of communal chips.
They are.
Chips are chips.
Right. Nobody turns into a murder beast overnight unless they want to. No?
Uhtred.
Richard doesn't even turn to anything.
So the night passes without incident. And in the morning, you are back on the shore of the Aeropon.
I think we start. I mean,
We do the thing.
we do our morning bevy of spells, and
Beverages.
beverages are consumed, and then I
You want to do
assume
the hit points for the Heroes Feast?
yes. A second. I assume we want to head towards Rostel, so that we probably try to find the road.
Well, so we're on the same side as Austell. But we could just head up the fucking river, or if they're not much of a bank.
I mean, your father says if we walk away from the water, we'll hit the road.
Yeah.
We just got to go uphill.
So we don't need to go Rostel at this point. We're just
No,
gonna
I
go
mean it's
there.
like the road goes from like if we head up the mountain, we will hit the road.
Okay, yeah, I just wasn't sure if there was some importance. Also, first. I roll.
You roll it.
Yeah. It's a, I believe it's a D8.
What's
So I'm
D8?
sure. Yep, 1 D8.
That is a one.
That's hard. I'm
Playing
gonna
in the
use.
tower all night long.
Yeah, I'm gonna use another action die for my hero piece.
Okay.
Do it. It's just a 3. I'm now getting confused on when I roll an action for an action die. No.
I mean, if you want to roll the D10 to add another D10 worth of hit points, that's fine.
Ooh, I could start to abuse that though.
If you're dead, dude.
If you're dead.
Even if you max out, 30 hit points is not gonna.
Okay, it's 8 total. So there we go. Everyone gets 15 hit points.
Woo!
1d8 plus 1 per 2 cast rolls. So yeah, 15.
Sweet.
15 temporary hit points.
Hit points does patch.
50% more now.
That's sweet. It's amazing.
That's my dad.
Cast communal dad on this guy.
That's communal dad. We're all each other's dads. It's like 2.5 men, which just
Father of the dads.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
or Charles in charge.
A bunch of dads that are all living together in a magic tower, and then one of their dads moves in with them.
I think it's on Peacock.
It's Father of the Dads. Yeah, it's a
Wow.
classic dad comic.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. So we find the road.
Bojack's half sister had 7 gay dads.
I haven't gotten into that show.
Bojack Horseman. Yeah, I haven't made it that far. Would do. Bojack is she a human or a horse?
She's a horse. Okay. I forget what her name is.
Bogina? Jack.
I like the Bojane instead of like Bojane.
I want to say it's like Buttercup or something.
Okay. Bessie. Fox.
I'm sure it could be Googled.
Nah. Let's leave it to the end.
Bummer.
Your dad's got points. We're hiking.
We're on the road again.
We're hiking towards, we have the direction of Cass in mind.
We're heading
It's
towards
not
the-
a very far trip from here, but it is like uphill, winding.
Mm-hmm.
So not far as the crow flies, but it's probably about 4-hour trip on foot.
Switchbacks.
Yeah, I cast a communal mount.
Communal regular mount.
Are they donkeys? Are they little burros right into the Grand Canyon to get up this?
They are surprisingly small, and those of you who are taller than dwarves, your toes will drag.
As we're riding them, your dad sings the riding song from Cat. He goes, "Little dang hooty eye, little dang hooty eye, little dang hooty eye, little dang hooty eye." And he spits Prospector song.
Largo is fucking thrilled. Yeah. I just exclaim, culture!
All right. So after about 4 hours, you do start to see these stone towers coming up on your side. At this point, Uhtred, you pretty much know if you go off of the road and head west from here, about a half an hour, you'll end up on your father's land.
Yeah, I let that be known. I say,
The
Houndsome
dog.
Estate is near. Well, it's not really an estate. For the Houndsome farmland.
Yeah,
The kennels.
the fields.
Yeah.
Are we gonna go visit Uhtred's dad right now?
Is this a dad mesh? Are we dad?
Dude, can
We're doing a dad mission. We're taking it right off the trail.
we please?
Like we're riding up and we see the towers and we're just like the Argonaut, like, oh, cats. And then everyone's back. Oh, Richard's dad.
I would fucking love that.
I fully support that. I think it's great.
Son of Uhtred.
So we're going to Uhtred's.
Dirty
Uhtred.
Uhtred
The
Senior.
OG Houndsome.
Senior.
Uhtred Senior.
Uhtred the first.
All right, so you head off the road and follow Uhtred as he leads you to
This is sick.
Houndsome Kennels. And
Kind of interested to see what
before
goes
you
on.
get there, you can hear the place. The sound of barking dogs is just constant. And it's probably, they're barking because you're approaching.
Cool.
Trained well.
Yeah, I mean, this is your shit. I think we all let you lead the way here.
Yeah, I'll lead the way. I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen here.
Oh, yeah, you come around a ridge and you can see this large sort of cage structure that is built on a paddock, and there's just maybe 24 dogs, all heads kind of poking out, a mixture of hounds and pit bulls that look like Otis. But yeah, pretty much just those two,
Pit bulls and hounds.
pit bulls and hounds, guard dogs and hunting dogs. And as you come around, you do see a dwarf, an older dwarf, a lot of gray and what used to be a red beard, looking up, and he sees you all come in, and then there's this moment of recognition, and he recognizes Uhtred. He's like, just walks back.
I nod. That seems like a totally normal dwarven dad response.
Largo shoots a worried look at you.
It's like his dad was like, "Oh, someone's gonna buy some dogs." It's just my fucking kid.
Nice.
I mean, it's only been like a year. I guess it's conceivable.
This is basically Uhtred's been out for a pack of smokes.
Yeah.
In on a dwarven timeline.
And came back incredibly powerful. Yeah, so I think first off, just customary, I tell Mirok and his father, we'll go in first to speak with my family.
Okay.
The
Does that
rest of
mean
you,
we outside, or we just enter after you?
So like you guys come up to the house, and as you get to the house, you can hear some jostling around inside. It's not so much a cabin as it's a log entryway into a burrow.
Okay.
And you can hear from in there the sound of some things jostling around, and then you hear a voice. There's not enough ale. One mug apiece.
I reply, we have plenty of ale. What was the last part?
One mug apiece.
Everyone gets one mug.
Oh, one mug. All right, yeah. We can't let. May we enter, Father?
We have 15 men.
Like he trundles back up, the slope. It's not even stairs. It's it's packed dirt with a couple of logs to kind of. Then he pokes his head out. He's like, "When the fuck did you learn manners?" He
There's
looks
a
at the
great
rest
deal
of
out
you,
there.
and he points at
Our
Largo.
name is no far.
I'm just bright red.
Just blushing her. I ask him. I know Uhtred well enough now. I go, "Where's your casks? Where's his fucking barrels of ale?"
His?
Yeah, because he's offering us beer.
Uhtred's dad.
Oh,
Uhtred?
Yeah,
his or
Uhtred's dad.
Senior.
my cats?
Yeah,
None of your business.
I talked
I'm
you up.
offering what I'm offering what up. Oh, you're talking up.
Well,
Go ahead, please. All right.
Nail of a different flame.
Okay. I take the ones
He like
that
pulls out 2 casks, and then there's a barrel.
uh-huh. And are they empty? Are they like got liquid in
Right.
them? Okay, cool.
You said you're topping off.
Yeah, so the ones that are empty, I fill with water and I turn them into just dwarven ale.
Okay. You know, it's all gonna be back to water. Like 2
So that's if they're empty. I want to pour it into empty one. I'm not trying to,
Right, right.
dilute the man's real ale.
He's gonna be really disappointed in like 5 hours.
I'm accounting for that. I'm accounting for that. I'm hoping that there will not be liquid left. Yeah. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, guys.
Okay.
You can
We're
count
getting
Largo
trying to
for
get
2 if Largo's gonna have a night of heavy drinking.
Give me, I guess, just an intelligence check. You're trying to make quality ale for Uhtred's dad,
Okay.
who's been drinking heavily for the past 200 years. He knows his ale.
Okay, so I roll a 17, and I do not add to, so I do a straight intelligence, right?
I think, is it intelligence or intelligence skill?
I think that's it. I think it's skills that are based on intelligence, because it seems like it'd be a little bit game breaking.
I mean, technically, this would be like a craft brew skill check, so it would be an intelligence skill check. I'm just saying intelligence because I know you don't have points in craft brew.
No, I do not.
Uhtred's dad's beer.
I'll leave it up to you. I roll 17. My intelligence modifier is 3, so it's 20.
I mean, you are an incredibly powerful magic user. You use magic that makes you smarter and more capable of doing shit. Yes, you've got a 30 total?
30, yeah, be a 30 total.
30 total on your craft brew
Making
check.
beer, yes.
And you make exceptional quality dwarven ale.
This fucking guy.
We gotta drink all of it.
We all come, yeah, we all
So
come into the
Cast
hovel.
communal drink.
he
Let's give me all that.
like dunks a 2-liter stein in the top of the barrel
Mm-hmm.
and drains half of it in one. Like, that's Uhtred's dad.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden he's like,
Mm-hmm.
if I adjust the training method, it's like, all of a sudden he's got a +10 to his intelligence checks.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
For the dogs.
Which is huge.
Wow.
And that also like totally fits with this kind of dad character you're going for, because he's like, oh, you guys are here and now I'm going to talk.
Yeah.
Like just a very coarse man.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he like just starts going off on all these brilliant new ideas he has for how to train the hounds, and because you just gave him a sudden
A boom.
smash of inspiration.
It's been 200 years.
I mean, I'm assuming you guys are just going back and forth on this trade.
Slide.
Yeah, I mean,
Like Talon's talking
talking
about
about dogs. Talking about I've killed some dragons, Daddy.
Have I made you proud?
Are you so proud now?
Do we have any like dragon shit on us right now?
Dude, I always got
I got a
dragon
ton of skills.
Sure. Who guys are showing?
I mean, we can give you dad a scale.
Bro,
Yeah.
you can show him that skull. It's tiny.
No,
It's there.
It's in.
Totally.
Yeah, we had to offload that because of the time.
And then it's probably sitting outside of the the framework for the tavern that's going to be nearest to Kyla, because that's the first one that's being built, and I assume you'd want to mount the dragon skull
Exactly.
in one of your
Curved
taverns.
appeal.
Suck it, Grim for dark.
Run for
What
it.
I do?
For car.
Yeah, I tell my father, hey, you want to see something cool? And then I'll pull out some dragon scale.
Pretty cool.
Pretty fun, cool.
Okay.
You get that really that silent fatherly nod of approval, and Uhtred's like,
Yeah, I did good.
Wegeldorf makes good.
Yeah, is there,
Spent the rest of the day
you know,
with Uhtred.
Uhtred's dad.
yeah. So he gets deep in his cups, and it's just like, he wants to show you all the dogs,
Yes.
and just like show you some of the some of the boar tusks from the hunts that he's been on.
Yes.
And it's just he gets pretty comfy, enjoys the company.
He's like a northern Minnesota grandfather.
Yeah. He and Petrus get into a very animated discussion about Stoneball and about whether the team from Kyla is any good compared to the cast teams.
Oh, our dads becoming friends?
Oh no.
Oh, that's even better. That's the dream.
No, your dad's very supportive of the Stoneball teams in Kyla, and Uhtred's dad is, you missed her.
I seen her. She doesn't exist.
I think we all caught her this time, except for
You
Aaron.
blew it.
As long as Aaron misses, it's perfect.
I literally looked, and then it looked. God damn it!
These guys start going on about
Yeah,
Stoneball,
that's part of
and Bort kind of elbows Yanni and was like, "Hey man, you want to go? Like, burn one by the kennels?" Yanni, excuse me.
Should get the dogs high.
Yeah, let's go check out some dogs.
Largo starts talking with the two dwarven men about the rules of Stoneball.
Okay.
Just general, like I do with the, with being a fan of the 76ers. Largo just comes in and he's like, well, I think the pitchers, need to do a better job of, instead of just pelting people, actually passing to their teammates.
I look at you with eyes that are like,
If you want to,
Yeah,
while
like-
we're here,
Uhtred's dad just looks at you like his mouth half open, and Petrus is just like shoves you and you clatter to the ground.
while we're all.
He's a kidder.
That's fine. That's fine. I get up, dust myself off, just press to digitate.
While we're all shooting.
while we're here, he's gonna, ask his dad, has cash changed since I've last been here? Is there anything going on in the city with the rich snobs that I need to know about, or is it all pretty much the same?
He's like, you've been gone for 3 years. What do you think's gonna fucking change?
Well, in this 3 years, I've killed 3 dragons, father. What do you think can change?
Father.
All right, so 3 dragons I never heard of are dead.
Yes, they're very much dead.
Wow.
A few bars, all named Hounsons.
That's the move. That's the angle.
Bort comes in all high and is like, "Tell him when you fucked up that dude from the King. Tell your dad when you fucked that King guy up the other day." Like,
Father, let me just say our name is known far and wide throughout many lands.
How come I ain't selling any more dogs?
Oh, you got like a little puppy play area.
Aw, puppy mills.
Dude, I'm imagining, like, I don't know, was it? I think it was in the last season of Punisher. Was it Nick Nolte that played the Punisher's dad?
Nursing Punisher.
Just like yeah, like just think of like a Nick Nolte with a long beard, just like sort of a paranoid loner woodsman. That's Uhtred's dad.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, for sure.
Uhtred, son of Uhtred Houndson.
So while we're sitting there and shooting the shit, I say, Uhtred, I've always had a question I wanted to ask, and I'm not looking at you, I'm looking at your
Right.
dad. I've known your son quite a while, and he's gone up and down the island talking about how he's Uhtred's son of Uhtred. You're Uhtred's son of Uhtred. And I'm trying to figure, like, what's your dad's name, dude? What does your dad yell when he kills people?
Yeah, tell him about Papa.
He comes up and he like claps you on the shoulder and he says, Uhtred, son of Uhtred. And he punches you in the face.
Yeah, okay.
My father's name was Yoris.
Yoris, all right.
Uhtred, son of Yoris.
He hits you in the face.
No, yeah.
And Ford just laughs. Just laughs.
Mirac is not at all. I mean, that hurts, obviously. I don't know how much damage.
3
I
points
take.
of damage.
Okay. I take 3 temporary points of damage.
So good.
Death
brawl.
I don't think my dad would like.
Your dad's kind of like looking at you like,
Yeah.
what kind of respect is that?
Weenie.
He's a dirty Yildor living in a hole.
Son of mine.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with that. With the pun that was, I sit up and I grab my nose and I cast Cure Light Wounds. And my nose is fine. And I look at him and I say, I explain to him why we're here. I'm like, this is my dad. We are returning to reclaim our dwarven honor. Cass has not shown us honor in a long time. We're here to regain it. Do you want to come with us on our journey to Cass?
We have a dad
I
time.
want a dad trip.
Largo volunteers to watch the hounds.
Let me know if I need to roll like a diplomacy check or anything like that.
You're just gonna stay behind.
They would eat you.
Amazing.
Like,
Yeah, you're an incredibly powerful caster, but there's like 30 of them.
30.
and I wouldn't want to kill any of them
Yeah,
because
no,
they're
but-
not my house.
So you give them all names immediately. This one.
You're Baskin, you're Lamar, you're Lunsford.
No.
He says, Cass can keep their honor. Shut up their ass.
Mm-hmm. Damn, I really wanted a dad road trip. I nod.
He's set in his ways.
Yeah, totally. I'm not gonna fight the character. That makes sense. I nod and I understand. And I say, well, we enjoy your hospitality, we enjoy your ale, and god damn it, we enjoy this boy here you made. He's a hell of a fighter. Caved in a whole city.
Yes,
Right.
he fucking did.
Return to my cups.
Largo promised he'd drink 2. He's getting to the end of the first one.
Okay. I fill it up when you're 20% away from finishing it.
This is a 1 liter stand.
Yeah, we're drinking 2
We're
liters.
drinking 2 liter stands.
Oh, he said he'd drink 2 of those? Well,
Yeah, okay.
I don't think
That's
you- I
all
don't
he
think
has.
You can lift it.
no, I can't lift it.
Oh no, like that's Uhtred's dad's stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's got some, more reasonable.
Pints.
Yeah, I'm just drinking 2 pints here. And getting to the point where it's just like, oh, I'm casting spells, guys.
Try and do it here, like inside underground. Try casting something weird.
Hey, Largo, can you reduce yourself and then get in a stein of beer and then try to drink your way out?
That is a party trick. That is not for me. But thank you. I don't use myself as the point of view.
Cast reduced dab.
He can, but others could.
Reduce that.
Have these dads drink their way out of sight. Yeah.
This is like a dirt hole that we're in right now. We're just kind of hanging out.
That's a nice hole.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it a
Dwarf hole.
It should not. I'm just saying it's like a dirt hole.
You fucking racist, bro.
I mean, there's some in-baked. I mean, like, I didn't like Uhtred for like the first 5 sessions. He was a hill dwarf. And then we got over that. We built a relationship, yeah. And then, it took longer for non-dwarves.
Yeah.
But we got there.
Understandable. And I'd already known you for months.
Yeah, but you owe my parents rent.
I did.
That's why Mirac came on the whole thing. It's just like, that goes my parents rent.
And now I can tell you to do anything.
Yeah, but you can also die every 2 seconds.
That's true. And I need your help.
Okay, so we're getting hammered with the Uhtred's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the tower. It's just good old fashioned
Hot sweat lodge situation.
Yeah, it's just the whole place smells like wet dog. Everything smells like wet dog.
Yeah. Does as we're getting drunk with Uhtred's dead, Bort says to Uhtred's dad, Uhtred, how does it feel to be a grandfather?
Ooh, intriguing. He hasn't seen him in 3 years.
Same.
So he knows.
Yeah, okay.
How old is Sifty again? Like 5?
I mean, like there was a lot of bullshit to Uhtred knocking up a noble dwarf from Cass, and you know that whole thing. Like there was a drama that he mostly tried to stay on the outside of. He didn't want it to affect his business, and thought his son was a fuck up. And then.
Well, let me know whenever we're planning on leaving. I knew the whole section.
I mean, Largo's about 1/20th done with this second pint.
Okay.
Not particularly enjoying it, but a promise made is a promise kept.
I imagine Yanni is cross buzzing like a motherfucker, so he's probably just outside talking to the dogs.
I was gonna say Yanni's got like some kind of
Mistakes were made.
Twisted.
There's times where I feel bad. Like Yanni was a real straight shooter. So yes.
Dude.
Set him on a real.
Where are the roses, man? There's no accounting for rose.
There's not.
Well, whenever we start heading out, Mirak's gonna tell him that he needs to drink all the rest of that booze because it'll turn back to water soon. And that before we head out, Mirak is not interested in Cass' honor. He is seeking to remove its yoke from his father's neck, which I'm sure is something he could understand. And then I shake his hand if he extends it or not, and I head out. That's all the RP I do at Uhtred's dad's house.
Yep. Largo starts fast chugging as soon as he realizes that we're getting our shit together.
Anyway. He
No.
he says he's gonna turn back in the water. Takes one more steinful and just like kicks the barrel over. Well, whatever works for you. Need any dogs?
I'm the mayor of a town. I could probably use dogs for a contract. Yeah. Let me. I give him my information so we can communicate. I mean, he's asking like, what is he asking? I guess I'm confused.
It's like, you respond, I can probably buy some dogs, and he was more like, you want to buy some dogs,
right? Fucking now.
But it takes him a second to recalibrate. He's like, I can make a business arrangement later.
Yeah. I'm like, nah, can't take a dog.
All right. Well, I can talk shop with you a little bit about what kind of dogs you might. I'm assuming like guard dogs or something like that.
Yeah. And that was not really I was not looking to start a dog haggling conversation with Uhtred's dad. So I'm very like, yep, until I get kind of goes into
well, I mean, like, he starts laying out some prices, and you're pretty sure you could buy everything with pocket change.
Yeah. I was just letting him know, this is what I'm doing while we're here.
Acknowledges that his dad is trying to haggle with his friend at this point, and just pulls out 100 gold pieces and gives them to his father, and says, this is for now. Thank you for having us.
All right, yeah. Fuck, damn.
That's a nice thing to do.
Yeah,
I'm Mr. Houndson, sir, Dwarf Master.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
he takes the pouch of coins and looks in.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of claps Uhtred on the back and glad to see you're doing well for yourself.
Largo approaches and attempts to hand Uhtred's father a lone forget-me-not.
He just like turns. And
God, you're picking the worst people to give them to.
I quietly pocket it.
You chose a kobold and the biggest curmudgeon dwarf we've ever met.
What are these?
Yeah.
I just have two
You
of
just
them.
have
I've
them?
had two of
Oh,
them
gotcha.
for as long as I fucking can.
Yeah.
As
Just
we're leaving, I just say to
It's
the
like,
group,
it's like,
forgive me.
like aged in a journal.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're like walking away, and I just tell the group, that was the best moon I've ever seen him in.
Those are the what?
The best mood he's ever seen.
Oh, nice. Damn. That was a great side quest and great job pulling Uhtred's dad out of your ass, Dan.
Yeah.
You're just waiting for us to get to Cass. And it's
We're just like,
taking-
oh, Uhtred's dad do it?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Uhtred, our dads talk to each other about sports. It's pretty
Look
cool.
at us.
Look at us.
We didn't really like each other, but
Yeah. No, I think they'll be pen pals. I think there was something.
It's like I'm not probably ever gonna talk that.
Yeah, it was like a Viking set of ackles.
I will never talk to that man again.
So you, Largo, you make some more mounts.
Yeah. Let's do this thing.
Okay. At this point now, it's getting on late into the evening. Each travel lasts maybe half an hour, 45 minutes from. Well, it's probably half an hour just to get back to the road. Another half an hour to get to Cass, the front gates.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're passing by some of these towers, you do get stopped by some dwarves and question on what your business is.
Our business would be to seek an audience with the Council of Greaves, I assume. That would be like our legal path for this process.
This is not
To restore the honor of your house.
It's not the time for gnomish diplomacy.
Yeah, but I don't think that's something I would say to a guard. Is like, I'm here to restore the honor of my house. And they'd be like, cool, I'm just fucking TSA, man.
Your father says we have business with the right keeper of the final reach.
The right keep of the final.
The final reach. And that's the crypt that your father used to be the right keeper of.
Ah, cool. Cool.
And he talks to them a little bit and basically like clarifies, and then when they let you go and he turns and says, before we plead our case with anyone, we need to settle this and then put the remains back where they belong.
Right. So that was the right keep.
The right keeper of the final reach.
Right keeper of the final reach. Okay. Yeah, okay. I agree. That makes sense, Dad. Let's head to the final reach.
He goes, he basically elaborates. It would be great to remove the black mark, the black stain from the family name, but it's more important that these remains go to the proper resting place.
Yeah.
Not that your hole isn't a very fancy hole, but that's not where they belong.
Please don't talk about my whole vibe. Yeah, Mirak that lands and Mirak like pauses for a second. He's like, yeah, you know what? I was getting a little bit carped for a horse.
Just stood in front of the kitty. That's all it took. I have that kitty energy.
Meow, meow, meow.
So you get to the front gate and you get stopped again. What business? Your father kind of takes the lead at this point. And they ask for, do you have proof, correspondence? This is not a city that you just get to walk in.
Yeah. I do have correspondence, not from that person, but I have correspondence. Oh, who was it? Because I sent that letter about the status of Yellow Gear. And I still have it.
It was the correspondence was from Archivist Feofan Stonebrick. But that was only basically him saying, oh yeah, well, we'll deliberate and decide if we want to send somebody out.
I'm imagining this letter is folded. It has a seal on it. Do I need to show them the contents of the letter? I'd be like, I have a letter from the archivist.
He's gonna. They want to know what your business is.
Yeah,
so you have a pen pal in town. That's great.
Okay, so I think the thing
you don't have. There's nothing in that letter that says that you have business in town.
Sure. So there's a massive gulf between that letter that doesn't quite fit the bill and this piece of paper in my pocket that has 9 dwarven corpses in it. So I'm trying to find the middle ground.
Show them the corpses.
Yeah, I mean, I can do that if I feel like that seems like the right idea. It's just to be like, look in here.
The honor of have sleep over I don't know.
If I go to my house, I mean, I could be like,
your father says we should just ask to send a message to the right keeper, and in that message tell her what's going on. And I'm sure that if she knows what we have, she will authorize us entrance.
Okay. So I relay a message to the guards, to the right keeper of Final Reach, that we have stolen dwarven warriors to return to their crypts.
Wait, are you telling them?
I'm giving them like a letter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your father's kind of like looking over your shoulder, and he says, "Right keeper." He goes over to the guards and says, "Do you know who the current right keeper is? Is it still Bela? Bela Honorshield?" And
Honorshield's a cool ass name.
Bela.
The guard says, "Yeah, that's she's watching over my great grandfather."
The flag.
Bela flag in the flag.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And he goes, "Oh, are you Grindhammer?" And the guard says,
Right, because he knows he's in the crypts.
Guard says, "I am." It's like they talk a little bit. Of course, all in Dwarven, but I don't know. Is everybody speaking Dwarven right now?
Nope. Not yet.
Just the one.
I speak Orcish, so if they start talking mean to each other, I might be able to understand a couple words.
Yeah. But yeah, so they go back and forth a little bit, and your father comes back over and kind of is like, "All right." And he starts dictating to you.
Sure.
What to write. And then, he's dictating, you have your ranks in diplomacy, so you're kind of embellishing it slightly, making it, sound a little bit better. He's going for officious.
Yeah, I'm Grammarly.
But so between the two of you, you put together a very, formal request for entry, and actually give me a diplomacy check.
Yep. Best. 25.
Okay. All right. And they they call a messenger to come deliver it. And the guard says, it's late. I don't know if I expect that she would receive the message or reply before the end of the night. And he points, there's sort of like a hotel on the outside of the city. Doesn't look fantastic, but you see that there's some carts and horses, and it looks like sections of it are built. It's not even so much as a hotel as it is like a motel, where all of the doors face out, and there's just like 3 tiers with stairs going up to the levels, and there's an office where someone will.
It's not like an inn. It's not like a tavern. It's like a motor inn. It's
I
like
think we stay there rather than.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, they're a city. They're a society. Yeah.
Well, basically, like it's kind of, we don't want you here, but if you've got to stay the night, here's a box. There's a box that you can stay.
The Roach Motel.
Okay,
wow,
cool.
We're fucking staying there.
I thank them. I'm sure my dad has a better rapport with them by now, so he does that too. Head over to the hotel and inquire about rooms. Motel.
They're asking for a gold piece per room per night, which is ridiculous, but
yeah,
it's the only game in town. So.
Yeah, there's no other.
It's the only game on the outside of town.
2, 3, 4 for my dad. 5, 6. I pay 6 gold pieces for 6 rooms.
Okay. And yeah, you go up into the rooms, and it's like a stone slab with a stained, like quilted pad for a bed and a chamber pot, and that's it. The only there's a door that opens and closes, sits on the hinge kind of okay, but there's no windows. The back of the thing is like built into the side of the mountain. It's maybe like a 7 by 10 foot room.
Wow.
It's absolute shit.
Are we staying in a 7 by 10 foot?
Yeah, dude.
Everyone's got one room.
It's that racist hospitality.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's just intimidate the shit out of them.
Capitalism.
Just imagining like Largo's going,
Yep.
then casting pass wall to make adjoining rooms with with Bort.
Yep.
Just casually using a 7th level spell to make adjoining rooms.
I don't have pass wall.
What is it? You have a phantom something. You've got some sort of
I have phase door.
phase door.
Which opens up the I got phase door.
Just casually use the 7th level spell so you
Look at this.
rooms with your
There's a worm. It's not purple, it's green.
Look at my room. It also sucks.
Damn.
My room does not suck. And if y'all ever want to be like lay on my floor, you and Yanni, be like, you're certainly fucking welcome to. Because every night this is what I'm up to.
Hanging out, vibing.
Hanging out, vibing, and casting spells.
We're doing it. We're blowing clouds. Yes, and stuff.
We're there.
Yeah.
Rolling cones,
Yeah.
blowing clouds.
Huge joints. Yeah.
Huge fucking doings.
I'm in an austere, dark box thinking about my family's shame and the judgment of my God. That's cool. You guys, I like what you guys have fun.
Dude, your god sounds like a real drag. My god's into like money.
It pays off in the end. You're really sad the whole time, but at the end,
Dude, you want to talk about the payoff?
he gives you special place and everyone else bad place.
I'm just finding out about all the money I'm gonna make from this guy. Sounds like a real
I don't want to do money. It's more just like approval.
We're having a god talk. You're like got a contact high. And we're doing like a little spiritual
I
thing
heard
right
you talking
now.
about
God
money,
talk,
but
dad
like
talk.
approval really means more to me than money. I just need deep validation from God, Dad.
Damn, that sucks, bro.
No, it's
Sucks
good.
to
It's
me.
good. It's good.
It sucks that that's something you need.
Okay.
So
We're having a moan. And then
the next morning, you guys, wake up, and by the time you do, you see that Petrus is already outside talking to someone,
Sure.
which appears to be a dwarven woman. Her beard is just starting to come in.
Mm-hmm.
And she's wearing what looks to be some sort of religious vestments. And Mirak, I'm sure, is the first person to come over and
Oh, yeah.
involve himself. And Petra says, Mirak, this is Attendant Alex. She's from the Final Reach, and she's here to escort us.
Well met, Attendant Alex, and extend my hand in greeting. Please let me gather the rest of my party.
You extend your hand, and she's just like got her hands. She gives a short bow.
Of course.
And you recognize like the folding and the interlocking is a gesture for Mosin, like finding order and pieces working together. And she says, the Right Keeper is curious to see if what you said in your missive was true.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say in your missive, Mirak?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't really have much of a response to that. It's like I just kind of nod, like, yeah, I should go fucking see her. I've got my party. You guys had your final breakfast.
We didn't have a continental breakfast. It was just an egg.
Like, I don't think anybody in the party is carrying trail rations or anything anymore.
We got kebab stash.
It's rotten now, but we're all right.
Yeah.
We don't need to, yeah, because between Heroes Feast and I need to roll Heroes Feast. I would have done that this morning.
Where?
In the town.
Could I not have done that, like just in my room? Oh, right.
No.
Okay. Never mind. Yeah, I don't do it. Never mind.
We're hungry.
Hungry minds.
We're gonna have to get inside these walls and find a little bodega, a little dwarven
Dornega.
corn nuts and Slim Jims.
A Dodiga.
Yeah, Dwarfdega.
A Dagobah.
Yoda, Ben.
That went places.
So-
that went a while.
Yeah.
So you follow Attendant Alex into the city of Cass, and she speaks with the guards and says you are granted passage. And you do even there is this like the orc too. She says, yes, the orc as well.
And when we all would have gathered outside of our Motel 6, I would have cast Communal Language Dwarven.
Okay.
Cool. So, everyone knows Dwarven.
Word who has come.
I give the guards like 2 thumbs up. Like a toothy grin as we walk in, like, good.
They give you a very nasty look.
You're not stoked.
And
I
I
am
like
not
this.
welcome here. Are you floating?
No.
Um,
I am not chaos in this moment.
You go past the door, you go past the guards, and there is a sort of a processing station, and the attendant goes up, says, "I'm Attendant Alex Bell of the Final Reach. At the behest of the Right Keeper, I'm accepting these 6 as guests into Cass. They have business with the Right Keeper. And over there, it's like, all right, names. And Petra Slatebelt.
You're on Slatebelt.
Largo, Dilgo, Zarn, McTriolatan, Yasmet.
I feel like you should be my third, but keep going.
Bort. I give him like a real like orky answer, like a monosyllable, and sound as dumb and orcish as possible. I'm confirming his racism.
Okay.
Good move here.
I give a slight bow and say Yanni Fremont.
We confirm it.
And, bringing up the rear.
I'm Uhtred, son of Uhtred Helmson, the Great Cleave, Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he looks at Alex. Best of luck with your business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you go down a long, wide hallway, wide by Dwarven city standards. It's about maybe 30 feet across, about 20 feet high, large enough for 2 carts to pass side by side. And this is probably goes 200-300 yards with just a couple of what looks like there's several portcullis. There are doors in the walls and arrow slits that line in different intervals, but it doesn't look like this actually branches out into anything. And you get to the end and it opens into a large space that is lit by torchlight. And here the ceiling is still about 30 feet, but about 40 feet from the exit of the tunnel, you see a massive stone spiral staircase that the radius of this spiral staircase is probably 20 or 25 feet. And Alex turns and looks at all of you, and Petrus kind of says, "This is the grand turn. This is the central hub, and traversal from level to level is heavily done here."
And does it go down or up?
Yes.
Gotcha. And I'm assuming that this narrow
You
hall
can
we
see
just
that the
walked through
spiral
was-
staircase goes up and it goes down into the ground.
It's like a thoroughfare. Vertical thoroughfare.
There are in this space surrounding the staircase and against the walls in this circular area, there are a couple of merchant stands. There does appear to be someone or a couple of people with like food carts. Bort is immediately drawn to the scent of cooked meat on a stick.
Yes, I am.
Hooray!
There is a
Undoubtedly.
kebab vendor here.
I mean, I know we're stopping right away. We're being guided by a
Vladimir
guide.
Poutine.
Mm-hmm. It's Canadian.
Yeah.
Quebecois.
Finish your back. Kebab?
And yeah, he's got he's got 2 kinds of kebab. And initially you walk up and he just does not want to acknowledge you.
I do a little whistle. Do a little.
Because that's always good when someone doesn't already like you.
I do a wave. I go, do like a 2-3 grand. Kind of
Like he's trying to get the attention of other doors passing by. And finally,
It's so long ago, I don't know. It's not Largo.
And he says in comment, what do you, what?
In Dwarven, I replied, what sort of kebabs are these? I see you have two kinds. Can you tell me more? What kinds are they?
And it says, this is cave boar, and this is morash.
What's a morash?
He says, why don't you buy one and see if you like it, and I'll tell you what it is.
I'll do more than that, my good man. Your tasty meats are mouthwatering, aromatic. I'm prepared to buy, how much does a kebab cost?
Is anybody else?
Oh, I walk
there.
up to this.
I'm
like
there.
slow.
I walk up once I see that there's interchange. And
Mhm.
I just say, Bort, terse, buy. Like, just fucking, he does not like you. Do not stretch this for any length of time.
He
Not
like
the
he
point,
basically like
you.
and probably between you guys get the impression like he was wondering whether or not to just like completely gouge you, but then he saw like you're in the company of another dwarf, and he was like, 3 copper for the Mirage, 7 copper for the cave boar.
I tell you, get the Mirage. It's a delicacy.
Sprack mountain oysters kebab. Yeah.
No, it's fucking a delicacy. It's like the oysters used to be the poor man's food before the rich man took them. That is this.
I buy a gold's worth of a melange of meats.
Well, that would be like 1 Mirage and 1. Or no, that would be like 10 Mirage and 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Cave boar. Okay. So
Cave boar.
Oh, they're great.
So the Mirage is very tender, very like melt in your mouth, soft. Not an especially impressive taste. The seasoning is nice, but like as far as like the meat flavor is, I don't know, it's pretty bland.
It's a good
The cave boar is gamey.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's very it's got a thick amount of fat. It's got much stronger, much more intense flavor. And it's kind of, there's like a spiciness to the meat that that's not coming from the spice. It's inherent in the meat. And then once you've tried a little bit of each, he says, the Mirage is ground warm.
Wormy.
Mm-hmm.
I lick my lips visibly, and thank the dwarf gruntily.
I would like to try one of each, please.
I hand Largo kebabs. I pass kebabs all around. I got enough for the
I
day.
imagine that for
I didn't-
Largo, the Mirage is much better than the cave boar because Largo has a very
low spice.
Yeah.
I don't think we have the Mirage.
What is that? Cilantro? Ooh.
There we go. And I pocket the rest of the kebabs that are not dispersed at the party.
They're also like
Rat pop.
the kebab has like some sort of a mushroom, spacing the meat.
That's nice.
So the Mirage is like meatballs spaced with mushrooms, and then the cave boar is little like cubes of meat spaced with mushrooms.
I enjoy both, but a little bit too much cilantro.
Yeah, the mushrooms on each are different. The mushrooms on the Mirage have a much stronger flavor, and the mushrooms on the cave boar have a much blander flavor to sort of complement the meat they're accompanied with.
Oh, the Mirage nudge. I love how we're spending time on this.
It's important.
It is important. I don't do
No,
kebabs.
Hallmark, yeah.
You have no idea. I spent a little hour on the agriculture of this fucking city.
Sites.
All right,
So we're using
smells.
your prep. Just as long as we're using your preparation.
Farmer.
Mhm.
Boar farmer.
True.
You're gonna want the mirage. It's your body wants the mirage boy. You're a mirage boy.
You're calling me a worm guy?
You're gonna be a worm guy.
Yeah, I mean, all right.
Just letting you know.
Let me know.
If you're trying to play an angle, a dumb orc that likes to eat worm is a good angle.
That's what I'm doing. Dumb worm.
Likes to eat worms.
Okay. So, Alex seems a little okay. They didn't have breakfast yet, so fine, whatever. But she also seems to be, interested in doing the job that she was sent to do from her boss.
Offer her a kebab like one of the bars.
I already had breakfast. Thank you.
Not required to like you.
Yeah.
Just not in this circumstance, not
I
required.
make a affirmative grunt is what I say, orgishly. Gruntily.
I see.
All right. It's Mirax deal.
We're all here.
Yeah. So, Petra's kind of like, okay, let's go. And you guys start descending the grand turn. And you pass through the first level, and the space between the levels is probably 15, 20 feet of solid rock where you're in this spiral staircase and there's nothing. There's a wall. And then the next level opens up and it's maybe about 40 feet of open space before you go down and pass through like another 60 feet of just solid rock. And then it opens up again. And the Petrus and Alex leave once it gets to the floor level on this space. And they had, based on, probably Mirok and Uhtred can figure this out fairly well, but they're heading south. The rest of you, I imagine, have lost most of your sense of direction. And
Heading south.
Underground. 100 feet underground, easy.
Okay.
so, I mean, the rest of the mountain is above you too. So when you came in and then you walk like 300 yards into the mountain, you were probably already several hundred feet underground. So then you've gone down another 100 feet, you get off, and one of the things you notice immediately is you can hear the sound of it's kind of muffled, but there's just this constant sound of like a heavy clicking, clunking noise. And then you see a cart move past the turn, and there's a dwarf sitting on the front, and he's holding what appears to be a stick that's attached to the cart. There's nothing pulling the cart, no animal. There's not another dwarf pulling the cart, but there is it looks like an iron bar or flange that just sinks into the road, and the cart is just moving along. And you start walking, being led down a street, and you see that there's a groove inside the road, and underneath that groove, you can see those of you with dark vision, so Bort, Mirok, you can see what is basically a very large bicycle chain is being pulled along underneath the road. And these carts have hooks that drop into the bicycle chain and are pulled along. And this is part of the machine works of the city.
Cool.
Noticing this, Petra says, it runs from early in the morning until maybe around 7 or 8 at night, and then they shut it down.
Why do they shut it down?
It's loud.
That makes sense.
Some people live right on one of the main thoroughfares, and Also to sort of say this is the end of the business day. Do the other things that you need to do. As you can imagine, we have a very orderly society here.
Cool. Very interesting.
Cass.
Yeah. Largo says under his breath.
Culture.
Walking through, there are only dwarves. You see no other race. And as you get further away from the turn, the ceiling drops to maybe 8 feet. Which is 8 feet, and the road is maybe 15 feet wide. It's a very claustrophobic space.
Sure.
Yeah, so you're just traveling down. You can see that there are doors, buildings, shops built into the walls on either side. But yeah, for those of you, for Mirok and Uhtred, this is cozy.
Makes
It feels comfy. For the rest of you, like it's not just that you're under a ceiling. It's like the ceiling is right fucking there, and yet you are in a city and it's crowded and there's lots of people. It's very claustrophobic. The road does go into a decline for a little while, and then there's a turn that's made, and after maybe 10, 15 minutes from the grand turn, you come to the final reach, which is built. There's a there's a facade built out of stone that says in Dwarven the final reach, and the you see that Petrus gets, he stops for a second and just kind of like looks at it. Probably not someplace he thought he'd ever see again.
Yeah, I clap a hand on my dad's back and stand adjacent to him in silence.
Well,
This is huge.
let's go.
Yep.
And Alex is kind of like, okay, and walks you inside, and there's a sort of an antechamber, and then there are some rooms going off of this, and you can see that there you get the impression it's some sort of ceremonial rooms, like almost rooms where there's wakes for the honored dead.
Whoa.
Okay.
It's haunted, dude. It's a crypt. Yeah.
And after a little while, another comes out in more, I don't want to say elaborate, but like emboldened. Like there's a deeper texture to the vestments that she's wearing than Alex's. This is, and Uhtred and Mirok probably get this right away. This is a dwarven woman, but she's got a full beard.
Yeah.
She's very, very much, for everybody else, indistinguishable from a dwarven man.
Is there not like sexual dimorphism in clothing?
She's wearing a uniform.
Sure, like it's just like a habit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she walks in and folds her hands and gives a slight bow, and Petrus folds his hands and gives a very deep bow. And he says, Petrus, I never expected to see you here again. But apparently your son has some business with the final reach, if I'm to understand correctly. I find it hard to believe. I feel is at least to honor the fallen worth verifying. And she kind of like looks out the door, doesn't see a cart, doesn't see.
I come out of my Mosin bow, and I see her looking around and say, I have it on me. And I gesture towards like, if there's like a blank wall, I say, do you mind?
Well, looking around, dwarven make.
So it's too
This room is about 10 feet tall.
Okay.
As a
So
like the best thing you can see is like if you put it over one of the doors to the antechamber, you could do it that way. If you try to put it on the floor, it would like take up half the room.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do it in the doorway of the engine. I say, do you mind? And I gesture to the doorway so I can like put it up against the wall.
And she like looks at Alex, and Alex gives her a I don't know. And she looks at you and says, please go ahead.
Okay, I thank her. And I ask Alex, I'm like, do you mind staying on this side? Please don't bump into it. And I start to set it up on the other side so she doesn't knock it over. People are in there. And I start to unfold my little stone-ish portable hole up against the wall, making that gateway. And once it's created, I look at my father and say, after you. And I look at Bela and say, he will show you.
So he gestures her to follow him in. We go in, and your father did make some effort to like lay them in a row and like.
Yeah. I imagine we did all this back at the fair.
Right. Thing. So,
but still, they're all wearing their armor. They're looking really good.
Their body parts are in their armor. Between like animating and de-animating, and then what's his name? Armin didn't necessarily so there was an amount of adjustment and putting a leg where it's supposed to be on the right corpse kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're not in pristine condition, but they are.
Yeah.
And going in, Bela takes a look, and then examining carefully, there's a short gasp. And your father kind of leans over to you and says,
and then she's Bela. What's her
Honor
name?
Shield.
Hammer Shield?
Honor Shield.
Honor Shield.
She's up there.
That's a fucking
big name.
Dope last name.
Hopefully no one notices that Largo wrote his name in the dust on one of the breastplates.
If he did,
Yeah,
Petrus
yeah.
caught that and dusted the breastplate off before.
Largo Dirty Boys.
Just kidding.
Largo and Chugger were here.
Yeah, before getting to, without getting deep into everything that follows, there's a verification process, looking at records, making sure that, the bodies, the armor that they were wearing, the different accoutrements that they were buried in. There's some things missing, but it's, it's all assumed that they were lost in the recovery. They're not. They ask you some questions like, "This, was there a mace? This one have a dagger? This one had a helmet."
Yeah.
And
There's certain component parts. It's like, nah. Once I saw them, they didn't have that.
Yeah. So, and they all just accept that you didn't rob the dead. This is just how you recovered them.
Yeah.
You did.
And after
It's a new day for orcs and dwarves. I say what I think is an opportune moment. As this is going down.
You're just standing outside. It's a new day for dwarves and orcs.
Exactly.
Alex looks at you.
But yeah, so another attendant does come to help with this. You find his name's attendant Milos, and he seems to be absolutely just like he immediately protests to the fact that Bort, Largo, and Yanni are in the antechamber in the front room.
Sure. He's a rule follower.
He doesn't know about the new day.
I don't say anything. I'm just.
Yeah.
I informed him about the new day.
Bela.
That's the moment.
It's a new day for orcs and dwarves.
I mean, the
I
fact that you're
say-
saying that in Dwarven might break his brain.
He looks at you and just like grinds his teeth.
Sure.
And the right keeper says, "They've done a service. This is not the time."
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't tell him he's wrong,
Yeah.
but she tries to chill him out a little bit. And there's like this very lengthy process of getting the bodies, moving them. They make a very big deal out of like properly carrying them,
Mm-hmm.
putting them on stone slabs and moving them to the. And well, the rest of you are not allowed to take part in this. Petrus and Rock are, invited to help with this Nadu.
No, because he's a hill dwarf.
He's not a worshiper. He has no knowledge of this stuff. You actually
Okay.
know what is going on.
Oh, yeah. I just thought it was like a dwarf thing. But okay.
You're clear.
Basically.
No. Your father was a right keeper, and you are obviously a
Something.
dwarf of the cloth
Yeah.
of some sort. It's literally written on your armor.
Mm-hmm.
You're the guy.
So you carry these bodies into the crypt,
Mm-hmm.
and in the crypt there's this row of sarcophagi. There are these stone columns. The walls are adorned with weapons, and you notice from the weapons similar iconography on the hilts and the handles and stuff that you saw on Thesnelda's sword.
The sword that
Was made from her ashes.
made from her ashes. Okay.
So you're getting the impression that all of these weapons are the
Made
corpses of.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And aside from that, you've seen this room before. You saw it when you were in purgatory.
Ah!
It's the room, dude.
Was it the room where I was judged by Mosin?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! That shakes me a little bit.
You're tearing me apart, Moses.
But yeah, it takes maybe 6 or 7 hours for you for this whole process. It's very involved and done very specifically. But these bodies are moved back into the crypt. The some of the sarcophagi that they belong to were damaged, and between stone shape and make whole, you fix them.
Sure.
Which they take as, there's an amount of appreciation and a little bit of awe in your ability to fix such things so easily. Except for Milos, he's pissed off that you're allowed in the crypt at all.
He's that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, so this being now around 3, 4. Now it's mid-afternoon. All of that is finished, and the right keeper says that she is going to write you a commendation, basically saying that the slate belts have returned what has been lost.
Nice.
And if you wanted to take that to the Council of Greaves, they would hear your case and make the final decision.
I interlock my fingers and I bow, and I thank Bela for continuing to honor the fallen dwarves. And yeah, I leave. Gather my ragtag. These are friends who should not be here but are here because they are my friends. What you doing?
Just sort of standing outside of a crypt, doing like a 1 foot thing to another.
Yeah.
Like trying to like picking my teeth with, picking like a bob with a little dagger I have on me.
Yeah.
Not looking at what's douchebag's name?
Milos.
Milos, just not making eye contact, just whistling. Holding it.
Cool. I assume you can't just like walk over to their council chambers and be like, audience time now. Like, I assume you have to request it or something.
Well, I mean, you would put in the request at the circle.
So we had to go to the circle.
The circle.
The Council of Graves building is called the Circle.
Circle. Okay, cool.
The council building, both for the Council of Graves and the Council of Elders, is a circular room.
Yeah, I ask my father if he can take us to the circle to plead our case.
He I think this should suffice in case we're stopped or questioned. And the keeper stops him and gives him a coat, like an overcoat robe sort of thing that same as Alex and Milos are wearing, but not the shawl, not the accoutrements to it. And it's basically like that would be a trainee as opposed to a fully
But like the gesture is like a little bit.
Gesture is like you're taking your step to come back, or that she's giving it to him mostly as a token of officiousness that he belongs here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because he used to run this place.
Yeah.
He used to be her, and now she's saying like, "You fucked up. You've done a good thing. Here's a small token to say like you're welcome here. Obviously not at the same station, but you're welcome here."
Well, it's also because he's about to lead this ragtag group of people through the middle of the city.
And that, sure.
And if none of you look like you belong here,
yeah,
you actually look more like you belong here than anybody else, but you absolutely do not look like you belong with these people.
Yeah, and I don't know the city at all. So, yeah. Okay, cool.
So he starts leading you across the same level of the city, and you come to pass by this open space that sort of comes out as you're heading to the east end of this level, and as he's walking by, and you guys see this like sort of opening, and then there's a bridge that kind of goes out into the darkness, because most of you have like dark vision, 60 feet. You just can't see where the bridge goes to.
Okay.
He says, that's Bastion Ironshield. That's the Dane's castle.
Okay.
He says, once we get past the bridge, we can walk closer to the edge and you can maybe see some of it.
Whoa. That's fucking dope.
So you get past the bridge. So he just wants to make sure like it doesn't look like you guys are trying to gain entry to the castle.
Yeah.
And the what you assume is like some sort of a moat or something, because it's just like there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And you get closer to the edge of it, and you can see the corner of the building, and it's kind of hard to figure out exactly what you're looking at. Then your father starts explaining that it is a 6-sided sort of spindle.
Okay.
So it's kind of looks like a D10, but instead of 5 sides on the top and the bottom, there's 6.
Okay.
Or D8 would probably be more accurate. And the entire castle is suspended in air, so that
just
traversal, like, because
cool.
they're dwarves, stone shaping, traversing through stone, all that kind of, like, if the castle is built to the walls or to the ground or something like that, entry into the castle would be expected from burrowing creatures. The fact that the castle is sort of suspended with a moat of air around it makes it much harder to assail than if it was actually attached to there are supports, but they're metal supports. There's 6 metal support beams underneath the castle, and there's 3 support beams on the top of the castle.
Super cool.
Yeah, it's the Bastion Iron Shale. It's called the Unconquered Keep.
The Unconquered Keep.
And not far from that, maybe about a 5-minute walk, as the city gets claustrophobic again, because that was more of an open space. This starts getting tight, and then you see this rounded, very large building, which from where you're standing, it's like 8 feet tall, because that's where the roof is to the ground. But he says on the inside, it's much larger. It's a round forum, vaulted ceiling, and he heads over and talks to one of the people there and exchanges some discussion and requests for somebody of higher station to come out, receive the missive from the Red Keeper, blah, 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 blah. And the long story short, he is told that the council will hear his case 1 week from now.
A week in Cass?
I think when that happens, I'm not sure we should go in there with you. I think that should just be you and your father. I mean, unless you want us to come. Largo's just thinking about kind of the reception that we got in the last rite.
Reports just
Last
a week
Haven.
in Cass.
With, Milos being all dickish about it and shit.
Oh,
I just think, you're about to argue for your family's honor. I think it would be best if it were just you and your honor.
Okay, I'll think about that. I don't know how I feel about that right
That's
now.
Largo's council.
Yeah.
They are quite racist. It's their fault.
Petrus says, do you all want to stay here for a week until that comes to pass? Or are there other things that you would?
Let's get rooms, and that way we at least have the option.
I think now that we have allowance to be within the city, probably rather stay at the courtyard than outside the gate.
Cool.
I'm gonna do that.
Well, this is all very exciting.
Yeah. So this part of this is not really my plan anymore. I just don't know how to get it.
I mean, we can do it.
But it would not be okay.
Yeah.
It would not be okay. So I'm trying to this is still I still want to create a plan.
Yeah.
But unless it happens organically while we're here.
The
I don't
plan
think-
has too much history to it. I don't think you can create.
I don't
one.
think there's any attrition.
Okay.
I think there's myriad unattached rounds. I think if we spend a week here
Oh yeah.
in probably not you guys, but probably not Jake based on the way he looks right now. But like maybe Uhtred, wherever he is. If we spend the time here, like this is what's happening a week. These fucking dwarves like they're reclaim they're on. These dwarves have been fucking doing this thing. We can like create an organic groundswell.
Okay.
Cast.
1 week, dude.
And there's gonna be a bunch of fucking urchin families that are like, yeah,
Okay.
these guys are like,
Let's down. Yeah.
And so you're trying to supplant the Colvax.
that is a part of it. I'm kind of holding that in reserve. That's like my like ace in the hole, because they're on the council of crews, which is like the main deliberative body. So if they're like, the fucking guys that are shooting me down, then I can be like, yeah, I have shit. I have your diary. I have stuff that would shake your house.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the value is like staying for a week, like trying to create like an organic groundswell.
I'm down. I mean, Largo offers to like appear as a dwarf and try to talk to the folks.
That's a fun idea.
Right.
I don't know what Bort would want to do, but Bort can do a Bort. Let's see.
You know, like the prophet in Children of Doom.
I haven't read it. Or seen the short series of James McAvoy.
We're staying in Cass for a week.
For a week, yeah.
1 week in Cass.
Yeah.
Ready.
I don't think you should go anywhere without a dwarf, but like, I'm sure Richard's down to clown with you.
I can also
And,
so really.
is that going to be just like, I guess, consistent across the group? Like, I shouldn't be wandering around either, right? I mean, I don't think people are going to.
I mean,
We were a human.
yeah, having walked around, Dan, did like we get a sense of how they feel about a gnome and a human?
There is. So on the way to the courtyard, your father does kind of share a little bit of further explanation or clarification. Yeah, Bort's gonna have a rough time.
Yeah.
I asked Patches if there's a temple of Delic here in Cass.
There is the glittering well. Yes, there is a temple.
The glittering well. Wow, that's amazing. Where in the city would that be located, Mr. Slate?
It is
Sir.
2 levels down.
Okay.
We can get to that. Let me.
Yeah, totally. That's I just asked as we're walking to the
Courtyard.
So the thing, and this is going to be a problem for even us. We are not wearing insignia. And he kind of points out, without pointing out, but like everybody in the city is wearing small pins about this big, and they're all different.
Okay.
And they all basically are little identifiers of their family, of the clan that they belong to.
Okay.
And he pulls one out of his pocket, and he shows you what looks like a segmented ring.
Okay.
And he says, "This is Slate Belt. But we can't wear this until we're recognized here. So without, if we were properly invited, then our hosts would offer us
Like their pens?
Well, not pins, but patches or something cloth to show that guests, not members. But we don't have that either. So we're all going to get somewhat accosted by people who are wondering why we are here and what business we have in the city. But Bort is going to be the first sore thumb seen and approached. Now we might be better off at the courtyard. The courtyard it's actually two separate inns and taverns. One basically caters to visiting nobility.
The court.
No, the yard.
Oh.
The court is for stoneball players.
Okay.
And as you're walking, you walk again past past Bastion Iron Shale, and the yard faces the castle. It's not, but it's a block or two away, but it faces the castle. On the other side of the same building is the court, and that faces the Crucible, which is the Stoneball Stadium.
Crucible.
Are we gonna have a stone ball session?
I mean, weird.
So
I don't know if there's any scheduled. Stoneball doesn't happen very regularly. It's maybe like one game a month because it takes a long time for most of the players to heal between games.
Can we challenge like the best stone ball dudes in the fucking cast in the game?
I'm down with that. You want to do some airbud?
Yeah. I'll be airbud, man. I'll just
There's no rules in the game that says a gnome can't play stoneball.
cast fucking fly and mirror image.
And then what will you do? Because you can't move the ball.
Well,
Defense.
I can fucking play defense. I will fireball.
The offensive magic is against the rule.
Defensive magic is not.
You're gonna get hit with a stone.
Defensive magic is not against the rule. All you have to do is create an illusion.
Yeah.
That they're just sucking their thumb out.
Yep.
It'd be a terrible game to watch. Question. So we see these pins. Does everyone have a pin? Is every single dwarf in cast?
Looking around, now that it's been pointed out, yeah, you see, lots of hammers, lots of, made of different metals or sort of designed in the shape of different materials. You remember Alex said her last name was Stonebell. She did have a little granite bell pin. On her shield had a small brass shield.
So these are dwarves who their family follows a clan. So naturally, my thought process is to ask my dad, who followed us? Are these dwarves that we can call upon while we're here for a week?
No.
Okay.
There's a difference between who followed us and until we are reinstated. No. I wouldn't put upon them the request.
Yeah, I'm just saying, can we make it known that, the slate belts are in now? I'm gonna ask them to throw in the lot of dwarves that don't have a name right now.
Right. I know it's sort of difficult for you to understand. There's some nuance to it, but the slate belts aren't in town.
Okay, got it.
Because the slate belts don't exist in Cass. The slate belts exist in Kyla.
Okay.
Dang. But the slate belts will exist in
Cass is fucking cutthroat. You're in or you're out, man.
At least we're not near Vest.
That is very true. I've met a near Vest. Weird fucking dude. Okay.
What is a near Vest?
Well, I was talking about one specific Vest. Okay, cool. Then I'm down to.
Yeah, you don't want your dad knowing you're hooking up with a beardless.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. After this, All good. You just gotta count them out and stuff. I think we head to the courtyard and then maybe scope out the court.
Yeah, dude. I think we fucking ball. I think we have to fucking point at our monk and be like, ball.
Yeah, I don't even think it's like Largo do magic or Fort.
Yeah,
just like
just
these
giving
two
them the
guys.
balls.
Mhm.
And your father.
And my dad.
I will buff him to the point where he feels like he is fucking 75 again.
So that's the move. Is like it's just me and you in the back on defense. Or like these four guys in the front. Just, "Wah!" Strong offense. Okay, cool.
Well, yeah, the two of you would stay in the pitcher circle and just try to avoid.
Mhm.
Yep. But yeah, so you go to the courtyard, and you can see the yard side, which is what you pass first as you're coming from the castle direction. Does have a sort of garden in the front, and there are these small, dim, glowing orbs, and they seem to be just barely enough to give light to this not a lawn so much as like a mossy covering on the rocks and stones outside. There are some strange, what might be something like a flower. They're colorful,
Okay.
But they come off of like milky stalks. It might be some kind of a fungus. And there is a tree in this garden.
Okay.
And you can see that over the garden, the ceiling opens up to a larger space, and there's a second and a third floor windows that kind of lean out to overlook the garden.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the yard. And then you can see that it is a very finely crafted, marble accented building. And you move past it and around to the other side. And as you're coming around the other side, you're kind of impressed. You didn't hear it until you got to just a certain point, but now you can hear there's a rowdy tavern, like just on the other side of this thing. The acoustics seem to have been expertly done here. And this side of the building is not as it's still very impressive, but impressive is like in a strong, forceful way, as opposed to the other side, which looks finely crafted and very neat and precise.
Like brutalist.
Yeah. And in here, you can see through the windows in the front a bunch of dwarves, and there are actually about a half dozen half-orcs inside there. And they are drinking and shouting, and you hear a loud crashing noise, and you guys walk in, you see that this round boulder about this big just slammed through one of the tables, and the table is demolished. And there's like 3 dwarves and a half orc over there laughing, and someone walks over, and one of the dwarfs throws some coin in the guy's hand and says, "You can only do that once a night." And
we found our place.
Yeah, here
We're
it is.
staying here.
Yeah.
I find the guy who was handing coin, and I walk up and inquire about rooms for a week.
Are you? He's like, "Are you with the?" And he looks at it. He's like, "You're not with the league."
I look at my dad and I say, "I'm with," and I look at him because he knows Kyla Stoneball teams.
And
Farm club.
Yeah. D-League.
Single A.
We're the Tarn home team.
We're the San Jose Bees.
Tarnholm Tankards.
He says,
That's good.
I'm an alternate on the Blue Granite out of Kyla, but we're just in town, and he kind of gestures to the group and he says, "We can't rightly stay on the other side of the building."
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's like, "Well, if your money's good, your money's good. If your gold's the right color, then we're all fine here."
Yeah, what's a week for us kind of cost?
It's 5 silver a night per room. Room sleep, 2 or 3.
So we need 2 rooms.
All right, for a week.
Yeah,
Is,
so
7 gold.
sure. Yeah. I pay 7 gold to the man. And then I ask him, could we incorporate a team while we're here? Is there a ledger? The team sign up somewhere?
You'd probably have to go. Probably have to go to the Crucible. I run the.
Mm-hmm.
I run the court, so
Okay.
I don't run the league.
See if we can go practice time in on the court.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just at the court, just, you know,
we check in, but I kind of let my dad know, like, guys are interested in stoneball. And I know they don't look the type, but you've been traveling with us. We have a certain set of skills that could be of use here.
Largo gets hit once by that boulder.
He's fucking done.
I mean, he's not dead. He's just knocked out.
paintball,
Yeah.
death ball.
Yeah.
I assume that the court here, it's like it has like a community court at it. Like there's like a village inn type situation where it's like, oh yeah, there's a tavern, but there's also like a softball field attached to it. No, there's not.
Not to this.
Okay.
It's not like a sand volleyball thing outside
Yeah.
of the brewery. or something.
Exactly.
This is the Four Seasons closest to the stadium. They don't have a football field. It's just where the
So
players.
these guys are like, they're like,
They're real stoneball players.
yeah, it's
It's
like Rams
hot
versus
shot.
Giants that are just happen to be playing next to a nice hotel. Is that what I'm going?
Right. It's the nearest place, and they do have rooms here that are size appropriate for humans, half orcs, that kind of thing. It's specifically to cater to the local celebrities, which are the professional athletes.
And we're fucking Notre Dame and Rose Rudy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you are, sir.
You're really-
Yeah. I'm Rudy.
It's funny because Yanni's the one with gambling addiction.
And Samwise was.
We're not talking about real life here.
Yeah, okay. Fictional Rudy.
Okay.
So yeah, let's yuck it up with some all-star athletes and steal their jobs.
Yeah. Stay and fucking
Stand for a week.
pass for the rest of our lives playing stone ball.
Stone to the bone ball, dude.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you carry the stone?
No.
Will you
No.
be an asset to the team?
How much does this stone weigh?
Glenn shared the.
Yeah, he shared the thing. I think I can pick this stone up.
I mean,
Because I no longer have a -1. Remember, I am at a 0 strength.
so depending on the league,
Okay.
the stone weighs 40, 60, or 80 pounds. There's almost no chance that you're going to have a 40-pound stone. This
Pro.
is going to be either the 60 or the 80-pound, depending on who you might play against. So I don't know if Bort can manage a 60-pound.
I could like pick it up and like hold it, but I couldn't throw it.
Right.
Like it's a moot point.
I mean, it's at least a medium load for you, right?
Yeah.
So like you move at half speed while carrying it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then trying to like I assume Uhtred can like pick it up and huck it if he needs to, right?
Uhtred can like spin it on a finger.
Yeah, he's Harlem Globetrottering this shit, and
though he's probably like there's only so far that natural talent will get you.
mm-hmm.
You know, Hafthor Bjornsson is the strongest man in the world, and he's a giant, and he's a fucking Met. He probably sucks at American football.
It's sports. You got to have like
Yeah.
the training and the muscle memory and the.
Now, granted, you guys are beyond just like the strongest or the toughest or whatever people in the world. You are superhuman, but there's that's not to say that if you went up against a professional stoneball team, that they wouldn't just
mop the
decimate you.
floor because they know the game.
Because they actually know how to play.
Mm-hmm. And superhuman.
Would boarders be productive in changing their will to want to play? Because they could
Intimidation, just rote intimidation, just looking like a mean motherfucker.
I mean,
Very intimidating. I don't use it a whole lot.
Can we roll for montage where we learn how to play really good for like 2 or 3 days?
I wouldn't want to steal the creativity moments. Like, I can envision you guys using your skills to bastardize a way to win.
Yes.
But you know, like you wouldn't be able to play as like normal players.
No, we're not playing with our skills alone. We're playing with our magic and our abilities to stab people.
And Uhtred and Mirok's father's knowing of the rules.
That's the thing is we fucking call Uhtred's dad and my dad. We got 3 fucking hard-nosed dwarves and we just got a magic backfield. Just doing shit.
Now all that said, you guys, you spend a couple of days, settling in. I imagine that some of this, like, that you're not necessarily just staying in the rooms, that there's a mansion going up in a closet every once in a while. You guys are doing your thing. And on the 3rd day, you're staying in the court. You're told early in the morning, one of the barmaids comes up to the rooms and lets you know that there is someone from Bastion Iron Shale that is here to speak.
With us as a group.
Well, he says the group here with Slateville.
Okay. Here we go. Yeah, we agree and gather everyone up.
Okay. Slateville, party of fun.
Party of fun. The Turnhorn Tankards.
So, do you want me to send him up to your room, or do you want to meet him down in the tavern?
I'm inclined to meet him down in town.
We have nothing to hide. Public meeting.
Yeah, and I don't want to seem like me. I'm gonna you come up here. So yeah, I think we meet him down in town.
Kebab.
Yeah.
All right. So you head down, and there is an officious-looking person.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing that you notice, Mirok, is that he is wearing the same pin as Milos from the final reach.
Okay, and that pin looks like.
It looks like a metal bar, but it's got sort of a spiral on the end of it, as though the bar has been folded over on itself a couple times.
Okay.
So it looks like like an ingot with a cinnamon swirl at the end.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Cool. And they look like they're a courtesan from the Iron Shield, or Bastion Iron Shield. I sit down at a table and, being a good dwarf, let my father introduce himself first.
So you kind of like give the floor to your father,
Yeah.
and your father says, Master Ironfold, I'm Petrus Slatebelt. What does the Iron Shell Bastion have need of me? And the man says, not of you, Petrus, of your son and his companions. Roses are red, if I am not mistaken.
We're all sitting around the table.
Yeah.
I tap my roses are red badge because I'm wearing one. I'm wearing insignia of our fucking clan.
And then, seeing that, I say, that's correct. We are the roses are red.
He says, I am Torga Ironfold.
Okay.
I am Seneschal to the Dane. After hearing a report of what transpired at the final reach a few days ago from my nephew, I went and spoke with the Right Keeper. She confirmed the story. And then through other means, I did a little bit of looking into your company and their exploits. I shared this information with Dane Scale Reaver, and there's an interest in your party and what you're capable of and what service you might be to Cass.
Request. Yes. Okay. I nod and I kind of recognize the setting we're in. I say, should we have this conversation here, or do we want to talk further somewhere more private?
This is not business suited for tavern. And he he pulls a bag out and places it on the table, and it's doesn't like clink or make any noise. He sets it on. He says, come to the castle this evening at 6 p.m. and be prepared for a noble audience.
Okay.
And he says, and like through this whole thing, he doesn't even like look at Bort.
Yeah.
Like just ignores the fact that he's there. And like makes passing glances at Yanni and Largo, but mostly focuses on speaking with you, and at best acknowledges Uhtred.
Feels good to be home.
This is the tavern at the court.
This is the court.
The court.
The yard is on the other side.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So it's just there's fucking, if there's any place in Cass where
This
there's
is pretty early. There's like 2 stoneball players who are passed out on the table,
Mhm.
but otherwise the
Totally.
tavern is empty.
But if there's any place in Cass where there's orcs or half orcs that might be just seen, it would be here.
Yep.
Okay, he's just a real dick.
Gotcha.
Okay.
He says, come in through the southeast bridge,
Okay.
and hopefully we will have a mutually beneficial arrangement to look forward to.
I thank you for your time, Master Ironfold. We will see you and the honor His Majesty Dane at 6 p.m.
He nods, gives you like a very token,
Yeah.
nod, and then brusquely exits the building. Your father kind of feels that the Ironfolds are old money.
Mhm.
They are they're probably one of the oldest noble families in Cass, and that's pretty much their only claim to fame, is that in the archives their name goes back further than just about anybody else's.
Yeah. So they predate Scale Reaver. But
Scale Reaver is a new name.
Yeah, but it's because his family distinguished himself in such a big way that they've kind of taken.
His family distinguished themselves maybe 5 or 6 generations ago.
Yeah.
And they've only been kings for the last 3.
And it's like a semi-elected monarchy, right?
The council, a member of the Council of Greaves can challenge the current ruling.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very dangerous thing. If you challenge and you fail, then your status as a family drops significantly.
Yeah. And everyone in Cass is thumbs up on the current monarchy.
Yeah. You take the pouch and you open it up, and inside there are sashes that have embroidered symbols of a sword going through a dragon scale.
Ah.
Damn, so that's a big sash.
Scale
That's a
Reaver
big
sash.
sash.
When are we going?
6 p.m.
What time is it now?
It says like the morning.
Yeah, it's like 9.
I look at Largo and I say, because he specifically said to dress for royalty, right?
He said be prepared for a noble something or something.
I look at Largo and I'm like, Mark, you better work. And that's, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Fucking make us snazzy.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 10 o'clock. This is a good spot to end and pick up. It was a very, very slow, but very lore-filled session.
Yeah,
It's lovely.
the dad journey.
I felt like about a half an hour ago, we were losing Jake and Jake and Glenn.
No, it's part of the story.
You guys are good. I just have been very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
What Scale Reaver?
Get your account.
Scale Reaver sash.
Are your hemorrhoids acting up?
What?
I said, are your hemorrhoids acting up, Jake?
So anyways, after we get done with this foolish kingly nonsense, back to Stoneball, okay, the important stuff.
Yeah.
I want 2 dwarf dads playing point on the Stoneball team.
Utra, do you think your dad has aged out of Stoneball, or do you think he's ready to
Andy, Halfwork in Casper is Scale Reaver official
King wants you
sash. I believe it with the sash.
Yeah, there's I imagine at some
Talk
point,
about being adjacent to Noble just all the time.
and we can probably, I'll shoot you,
I'm a bad man.
I'll shoot you some information because I'm sure that Mirok would want to have visited
I would kings.
the Enduring Vault, which is the church to Mosin in the city.
Yeah, I'll do that.
The diamond well,
Glittering Well.
the glittering well.
It's the glittering
I
caves.
got that sash on me, dog. Glittering well, here I come.
You say glittering? Well.
Hey.
What about you?
Oh no, my board cube.
Close one.
Thanks for the rules the other day.
Yeah, it's good. Did it work out? Did
Yeah, it was great. Me and Lauren won.
Okay. What do I owe you for food?
You have to, there you go.
Blew it.
I priced it out. Because everyone got like super different stuff, so it doesn't make sense to actually split it.
I think mine was like, I see. I don't know.
You got like
because-
2 meals.
Right. Yeah. Like from the menu was just pictures, and then one picture said the burrito was $7, and another picture said it was $6. So I have no idea what is actually the cost.
So the 2 things together were $18.50 for you, and the delivery fee is $6. So that's like $24. But I don't really care about delivery fee. You're welcome to send me $18.
I'm just gonna make it simple and do 20.
Cool, great.
Yeah, I didn't have any lunch today, so.
Yeah, I mean those quesadillas are thick.
Yeah, I did not expect that from
Yeah.
quesadilla.
I got it one time in my entire life, and I was like, that is too much.
Stout.
One time in your entire life.
Entire life, I got that quesadilla. I was like, no, no way.
One.